Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and boy, do I have a show for you today. I don't know if it's a good show. I want to throw that out there right away because I'm having a rough morning. And I'll do my best to entertain. I was sitting here trying to think of a title, and believe it or not, as dumb as these titles are, I do put some thought into them. And I was just clicking through, and I saw Phil DeFranco has his new morning video out. And Baror, usually these were the videos that he started making because the subject matter would get him demonetized on his regular show. Shrouded Angel, nuts. Oh, and before I move on to that, guys, thank you everybody who came in and hung for my birthday yesterday. And I see in chat there's a belated birthday message. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. It's always a lot of fun to share my birthday with the world because I really do love it, guys. I love my birthday. Where was I? Tall person. I never know how to say your name. Facant. Am I saying that right? Shih Tzu. You would call it monkey. What would I call monkey, Peter? Mad Max. Sad boy. Remember, guys, we do this for the first 5 minutes. We used to do it all show, but I sounded like I had Tourette's, and it broke things up one night so bad. I was like, I don't even know I'm talking anymore. So we do it for the first 5 minutes. After that, you have to pay me to shout your name out. I'm not telling you to pay me to shout your name out. I'm telling you to be here in the first 5 minutes. Poppy, Pumpkin Trucker. So yeah, we'll do that as I talk about why I made this title. But anyway, so DeFranco, he started doing, and I know what he's talking about. There's been times when we've touched on subjects on Lords of the Night. We're just touching on them, immediately demonetize us. That was before the great demonetization that happens now all the time. The biggest one I can remember was the Syrian bombing when Trump bombed Syria. Even though it's a news story, the fact that we were talking about it immediately got you demonetized. So when Phil did this, I understood. Steven, Simon, sorry he said I skipped him. I'm so sorry about that. Richo, Ebony, Simon again. So it makes sense that if you're trying to do a show that you want monetized, and look, Phil, whether you like him or not, he has to make money. He has a business that he runs there. You can't pay people if you don't have money. Truckin' Bear. Some Dutch dude, thank you. He says, monkey, some Dutch dude. How you doing, man? And remember, you don't have to do that in the first 5 minutes. You don't have to donate, but I appreciate it. I really do. Chuckles. Jack, how you doing, man? I always say hi as soon as they join before they can even hear me. Hi, Jack.
Hello.
There we go. Now I can hear me. So I was just explaining the title, Jack.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was explaining to you what we're talking about. Mike Savage. Is that Blow? Bo. Sibo. Man, I need to be able to read my screen if I'm going to yell people's names. Before I call somebody something horrific because I can't fucking read. Poppy says, I'm so fucking sleepy. I get you, girl, man. Look, the first 5 minutes of this show, you should be here for it, but it's a mess. It's a mess for several reasons. One, I yell names. Two, I don't even know where the hell I am. And yeah, those two I think are most important. Random American. I went to bed last night right after the game stream. It's like, there ain't no fucking way. Can't do it. We got off Lords of the Night, and I went upstairs, and my son had made barbecue hamburgers for dinner last night, and there were leftovers. So I went up there and I got one. I didn't even heat it up. Just put some ketchup on the top and rubbed it around. Ate it. And by the time I made it back to my seat, man, I was ready for the biggest nap of my life. Struggling Paradox. Struggling. You made me struggle with the name. Yeah, I need to bring. I know I say this all the time. I need to get my fucking glasses in here. Terry Demonis, thank you. I propose a debate. What am I even doing here, Jack?
Turned Canadian all of a sudden.
I suppose fuck. Terry, I'm going to get this out. I propose a debate between Cochran and Gunsky, Jack versus Jack. We could call it the Jack Off. Jack, how do you feel about a Jack Off with Cochran? Oh, you are Cochran. God damn it. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. Milkman. What else do we have here? Making sure I'm Jaeger Pony. I think we're drying up on names here. So anyway, so this is the story. Oh, some Dutch dude. Thank you. Shh, just let it happen. I don't do regular chats, watching, listening on tablet whilst working on PC. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you not doing regular chats. Even if it seems a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Opportunist. I just want you to be happy.
There's a difference between being an opportunist and needing money.
Oh, okay. That's well, there can be a difference.
Yes.
Terry says I got my money's worth on that one. You really did, man. Unfortunately for the rest of you, that's going to be the funniest part of the show. I'm not promising. I'm making a prediction. All right, guys, time's up. Love you. If you need me to shout your name from here on out, it is you have to super chat something, either on the Streamlabs, the super chat here. I'm not telling you that you have to give me money to shout your name. I'm telling you to be here in the first 5 minutes, so it's free. I feel like that's a smarter way to do things. Anyway, okay, now let's get back to this title here. So, Phil DeFranco has his morning video out, and it's called "Why France Recognizes Lightsaber Dueling as an Olympic Event," or is it not an Olympic event, as a official sport? That's what it was.
Because France is full of idiots.
Well, two things. One, I mean, you're not actually dueling with a lightsaber; it's just a stick.
That's not lightsaber dueling, then.
I get you. I don't know if you can actually cut your opponents in half with them, but I'm fairly certain we don't have the technology yet to make an actual laser sword. At least not a true laser sword like a lightsaber.
I bet they do, and they're just holding it back. They don't want us to have it because it's too cool.
Well, maybe. Yeah, the reptilians won't let us have it yet.
Fucking reptilians.
But here's the thing. I get why they would do it, because, I mean, is it really any different than going out there with a foil, or even if you were using a broadsword or something like that? It's still, I mean, it's people pretending to fight with swords. So if you're going to recognize fencing as an official sport, why not lightsaber dueling?
I don't know, because if they're not actual lightsabers, it's just kendo.
I suppose so. Hang on.
That's basically what the forms are.
Well, damn, heater was on and I don't need it on. It's actually not cold in Michigan right now. But what stood out to me, why I decided like I got to grab that for the headline of my video. Sorry, live stream. One, it was to be an opportunist, because Phil gets a bunch more viewers than we do. But two, Phil started this morning thing, right? To keep things that were controversial off of his main show, so that his main show wouldn't get demonetized. Is there really anything like super controversial over lightsaber dueling?
Other than that it's fake, no.
It's not like he's talking about the bombings in Sri Lanka.
Oh, no, that would require way too much fence sitting for this early in the morning.
I mean, it's like you went with fucking lightsaber dueling. And again, I don't mind him doing it. It's just the reason that he made this show. I feel like he could have done lightsaber dueling on the main show and it wouldn't have got him demonetized.
Probably, but he's such a weird person. Like, I really don't think he knows what he's doing half the time.
Well, the other thing that really struck me about this is, do you know how old that story is? The lightsaber dueling thing was, I want to say, last year.
I was going to say, they've been doing that for a while.
We talked about it on Lords of the Night when it came out, because we read the news that day, Phil. Yeah, this has been going on for a while. So unless something, I didn't watch it. I'm sorry I didn't watch it. I didn't have time yet. I probably still won't, because it's fucking lightsaber dueling in France.
Yeah, could it get much more gay sounding? I
Just
mean, that sounds like gay porn. French lightsaber dueling. It sounds like two dudes with glow in the dark condoms slapping their wangs together.
I imagine a French lightsaber duel would be like watching a normal lightsaber duel in reverse. They would start standing next to each other with their lightsabers on and just slowly move away, turning them off as they both conceded.
Yes, they both retreat. See who can surrender first.
Yes. Who can get back to Germany first? I mean, no, that's not right.
Although I do hope that if there is ever a lawsuit over the lightsaber dueling, the defense uses the Chewbacca defense.
The Chewbacca defense would be, look at this monkey. Look at the monkey.
That would be just awesome. That'd be the only thing you could do, I think.
That is my favorite part of the lightsaber defense. But Johnny Cochran's not around anymore, so I don't know if it would work.
He had kids, so
Okay,
one of them could do it.
Yeah, fucking lightsaber dueling. That's what he went with his hard-hitting show.
So lame. He is so milquetoast. Sickening.
Anyhow, so we have lightsaber dueling in the news today for no reason.
I don't like Philip. Sorry, I don't like Philip.
I used to. I can't watch him anymore.
Everybody says. Well, people are still subscribed to him. Like, well, why are you still subscribed if he sucks this much?
You want the truth?
Habit.
The same reason I check CNN every day. The same reason I read the Washington Post. Sometimes I need stories, man.
Well, I know why you do it, but
I go there to rip him off, man. I'm sorry, not rip him off, to
be inspired.
Pay him homage.
Pay him homage. Nice.
To be inspired. Philly, you inspire me. Now look, I don't think Phil's a horrible person. I do think a lot of times, especially lately, he's decided to go too reactionary to stuff. Because one of the things I used to like about Phil is even if I didn't like his eventual takeaway, even though he says, this is a conversation. You're not conversing with anyone, Phil. Stop it. That's your attempt to make it look like you're actually listening to other sides. But at least you would hear a good portion of both sides of whatever argument it was. And he did a very good job of that. I'm not taking that away from him. But then we move on and we get to things like Covington. Did you see his video right after Covington? When he was on vacation, by the way, guys. It was his day off. And I want to say he was actually on vacation too, but he took time out of his time off to make a video about how horrible those Covington kids were. Damn it.
I still think they should have sued him too.
Oh, they should have. Well, they probably don't know who he is. Plus, they know he doesn't have 250 million like CNN does. CNN and the Washington Post, those are your pay pigs in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, but then you start going after the little guys when you're done, because this is about vengeance, not justice.
That's true too. But sometimes vengeance is justice.
Very true.
People forget that. It's like, no, we don't need vengeance. We need justice. Sometimes they're the same.
Yeah, I'm all for a little bit of vengeance every now and then. It's perfectly fine.
Sometimes I believe vengeance is called for.
Absolutely.
Or as one very good comic book character would say, punishment.
Exactly.
Punishment. This is about punishment. He's a paid shill like Casey Neistat. Sinatra, I think I'm not sure that's it, because he's been paid very well for quite a long time. But I have heard tell rumor that his wife is like a huge SJW. And when you get it, let me help you all out. If you go into a relationship and one of you is right and one of you is left, it's very rare for those not to bleed. And the predominant personality is going to be the one that bleeds onto the other one. I think of Marilyn Madeline and James Carville, but that's one where you had two dynamic personalities. So they could be married, still have their strong feelings on each side, and hold on to their own personalities. But you don't see that a lot in actual relationships.
No.
one of them eventually pushes out to the other. And
yeah, and Phil doesn't exactly look like the type that stands up a lot for himself.
no, I mean, if we go back and look at his early videos where, I mean, he was all about, look at these boobies. I mean, he's a very insecure man. Sorry, Phil, just my opinion. Don't sue me. I'm just saying you seem kind of spineless.
Like a bitch.
Like he was so thankful that this woman showed him pussy that he will agree with anything she ever says. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if his wife is the influence, but he does definitely seem to be traveling down that left and lonely highway. And that's why he's now doing early morning lightsaber shows.
Yeah, I mean, Good Morning America would put that crap on. I don't watch that garbage there either.
That is actually a pretty good description of Phil's morning show as I see it there. Yeah, that's like after the weather, we'll be talking about lightsaber dueling. Tune in. It just made me laugh. One, that he's covering a story so goddamn old, and that's his. This is the story. You got fucking Sri Lanka going on, you dick.
Oh no, he can't cover that. That might be controversial, and he would have to take a stand on that. And all those weird people that worship Cadbury Easter egg, the Easter worshippers.
Is that could they get a more fucking weird euphemism?
Right?
For Christian, those Easter worshippers.
It's so lazy. Like, who came up with that? Somebody's 5-year-old kid?
It's funny you say that because it really does seem like somebody came up with it and sent out a memo.
Oh yeah, look, it absolutely does.
We're not calling them Christians today. We're going to call them Easter worshippers. Don't tell people they like Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just picturing a bunny on a crucifix, and like when you like shake the base of his foot or something, eggs fall out. I don't know. It seems so weird.
Instead of the Holy Grail, there's a basket down there.
We have strands of the sacred stuffing.
Oh my god. Instead of a crown of thorn, he had that Easter grass shit on. Yeah. Oh,
weirdest relics ever.
I need somebody to draw that for us.
Right?
Oh. Peter says, I missed you on Lords of the Night and the game stream. Well, you got me now, Peter. Hi.
Hey, you were probably sleeping, Peter.
Yeah, look, I appreciate people who watch me everywhere, but you don't always have to. Take a day off, man. Even Jesus Bunny did that once in a while. Let's get on to Sri Lanka real quick because death tolls over 200. They're looking into. They actually have footage of the bombers going into some of the churches.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, this is going to surprise the shit out of you guys, but they all look quite Muslim.
Yep.
Which is only going to come as a surprise to you if you read the news or watch television, because they've gone out of their way not to point out that these were Muslim terrorists.
What?
I know.
I'm shocked.
They are not just avoiding the Christian label. No. They're avoiding talking about who these guys are. Now, there's finally been a claim of responsibility from ICE, not the Customs and Border Patrol. We got to be careful. Don't want to set off the liberal amongst us. Ocasio-Cortez will have somebody go tell Ocasio-Cortez that ICE is responsible. She'll lose her shit. We'll have 400 tweets on why ICE shouldn't be killing Christians.
Easter worshippers.
The Easter worshippers. Sorry, yes. The Easter worshippers. The claim is being questioned at the moment because like nobody's like, come on, you waited this long, and you guys claim it when somebody loses a sock in the dryer these days. So that's still a little dubious. But what? Okay, let's go over some of the facts. The group that did it cannot remember their name. Don't care. We're just going to call them stupid Muslims, not to be confused with good Muslims, because there are a few of them out there. These are stupid Muslims, and they're a small group that has been in the country for a while. That they've watched for a while, but up until now, all they've ever done is like vandalism.
Yeah, weren't they like spray painting stuff?
Yeah, they were minor shit. And then for no reason, not only do they progress to blowing up 6 different places, setting bombs in 2 others in case they were getting closed in on by the police, which, by the way, killed 2 cops. But also, they ended up on an international terrorist warning. This is the thing that, for those of you who haven't seen, the Sri Lankan government has come out and apologized because they had a warning 10 days before the attack.
Well, they didn't take it seriously because these are street vandals, effectively. Like, you have teenage crime that's more serious than this.
Well, this is the part that made me go, how the fuck did this was I forget what country sent it to them or if they've even mentioned it, but this wasn't an internal thing. It's not like they had, their version of the FBI, whatever it is, go, oh, wait, these guys are about to, strike. This was an international thing.
Yeah, I bet India sent that out because they would have probably had to go through India to get to Sri Lanka, and India's probably got a much better intelligence service than Sri Lanka does.
But do you think? But my point being here, for any other country to be paying attention to this tiny ass little cell that nobody cares about, who they bought some gold spray paint this time, would be the most you could say about them previously. That to me says, okay, they had a little bit of outside help. There's some communication coming from outside that tipped this off. Now, look, we can second guess this all day. I'm sure the people who got that memo feel like hell. I cannot imagine what those people are going through, and rightfully so. But we get warnings all the time, guys. We really do. Here in the States, I'm sure they do. That is a sad country. I mean, they're only 10 years removed from a brutal civil war. They're finally getting their shit back together, and then this stuff happens. But anyway, how this all got started. It is amazing how the press has gone out of their way, not to mention, Islam might have been involved here.
You think? Good job.
They could not wait in the Christchurch shooting to tell us all about the alt-right, man. And I actually saw, I think it was on Australian TV. There was a clip on my Twitter. There was an Australian dude. He's like, why isn't anybody saying Christian? Why aren't y'all mentioning Muslims? As soon as the Christchurch happened, you guys started looking for every alt-righter on the internet, rounding them all up. Like, they caused this.
I think Satsu nailed it on Lords of the Knights because they associate Christian with conservatives.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I really do. Because it is weird. Like, we'll take our former president, Barack Hussein Obama, as an example. This is a man who claims to be Christian. This is a man who, for some reason, our politicians like to pose for the camera when they're going to church on major holidays. So we've seen him going into churches and stuff. So, okay, I'm willing to take him at his word that he's Christian. But he can't say my faith was attacked or fellow Christians were attacked. Not some Easter worshipers got blowed up.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants that golden egg because it's got a prize inside, but this is not the way to go about it. Yeah, I think
a golden ticket.
Right? Terry.
Thank you, Terry Diamandis. Do you think Ramadan enthusiasts were involved? I think they may have been. I think Ramadan enthusiasts may have been involved. I'm only going off official reports, though.
I think they're just virtue signaling by not saying Christian that, it's part of the woke crowd staying woke.
Yeah.
And it's sickening.
I tend to, and I don't think this is nefarious as it's going to sound. I think it really is that they don't want to point out that Christians get far more violence thrown their way than Muslims do.
But to admit that would defeat a lot of their arguments about how oppressed and Muslims are and the Islamophobia and blah, blah, blah.
Well, again, I hate to keep coming back to this article, but one, it was stupid as fuck. And two, I think it's kind of relevant here. Owen Jones just last week penned an article because they're in what is it? Is it Birmingham? No. Berkshire, some B thing over in the British Isles. Yeah. Blind press. I'm not blind. I'm a white cane enthusiast. shit, I forgot my point. British Isles did. Owens. There's a hubbub going on over there because there's a primary school where they're introducing gay. I don't know if it's gay acceptance or gay tolerance. I haven't read the material to make the decision myself.
Oh yeah,
but they're introducing it to a primary school. Now, this primary school has a lot of Muslim children in it, and their parents are like, "Oh hell no, nope."
Yeah,
and so they're actually protesting the school. And Owen Jones wrote this article about how, if you just read the top half of it, it seems very nice. It's like, we should just get along. Look, there's even Muslims who are gay have been persecuted through this. And then you get to, I think it's like Article 3. And it's like, Muslims and gay people need to come together against the real oppressors, the Christians. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Those Birmingham in England. Okay, thank you. I could not remember if it was I'm an American. When I think Birmingham, I think Alabama.
Yeah.
I
hear dueling banjos.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, I'm afraid that they're going to turn this into like inadvertently turn this into a religious war.
It is a religious war.
No, I mean they're going to make the Christians escalate against the Islamic crowd. So I don't know, man. This is how the Crusades started. Like if they just attacked the Byzantine Empire, we're going to be right back where we were 1,000 years ago.
Who are the Byzantines these days?
I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to give you
probably the Birminghamians. No banjo music. That wasn't actually banjo music, Jacob. That was just my excellent impression of one. Ding 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 ding. Angela says, "Good morning. You're on for my commute. Oh, well, I hope you have a safe drive."
Oh, the capital of the Byzantine Empire was Constantinople, currently known as Istanbul, but that's nobody's business but the Turks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Angela, it was the Eastern Roman Empire.
If we're not funny, guys, blame Angela because I don't want her to crash listening to us from laughing too hard. Angela, this is your fault that I'm not funny today.
If we're not funny, it's because somebody's lacking a sense of humor.
Blind Press says we will see another Holy Crusade and it will be brutal. The Muslims don't have a chance in a crusade these days because the Christians, they were like, we can't have another ass kicking like we did in that last one. Get nukes. So we'll just have a lot more glass. I don't want a religious war. Again, I'm not anti-religion. I'm not. Easter worshippers doing their thing doesn't hurt me. When they try to inject their morality into our laws, I will fight against it where I think they're wrong. But for me, the problem comes in with things like blowing up Easter worshippers. That seems like a counterproductive way to talk to your God. And I get it, your prophet was a warlord, but seriously, come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
But you don't want to force people to choose sides like this. You got another super chat.
Well, that's the thing. They're kind of doing it. Johnny Hellcat, here's some money for missing your birthday. Boy, I feel like an absentee father. Why don't you love me, Dad? Thank you so much.
Later, he's going to take you out and play ball with you.
He's going to get me an ice cream cone.
Yeah. He's going to go for cigarettes and not be seen again for 5 years.
Has anybody seen Johnny? He went for cigarettes last month.
No, I really think that as conspiratorial as it sounds, you're pushing people into camps by not acknowledging the victims. You build resentment with them by not acknowledging the attackers. You enable them, and the two sides will eventually clash. And the other groups, like Hindus and the Buddhists, they're going to take sides. And the Hindus hate the Muslims pretty well. I mean, hence the India-Pakistan split. So let's say
best case scenario, right? The whole Easter worshiper thing was accidental. One person wrote it thinking they're at Easter worshipers. And then somebody else said, they are Easter worshipers. And so it spread that way. There was no attempt to keep the religions involved out of it, right? Let's just theoretically, there was nothing nefarious about it. it still spreads it because you've done it everywhere fucking else.
Well, they keep doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
The constant culturally, you keep seeing people blaming the white heteronormative Christians for everything. You keep hearing people badmouthing Christians, but you can't badmouth the Muslims.
Oh,
You
sure.
can't badmouth brown people, but you can white people. It's going to create the problems they're looking for.
And then they turn around and say, you guys caused division.
Yeah.
Shadow Knight, thank you so much. First time sending money. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That is very, very generous of you.
Yeah, and I think Nowhere No One makes a good point. It's still meant as a pejorative. They're trying to be insulting in a lot of ways, and other people are going so used to being insulted that if it's not meant as an insult, it's still going to be taken as one.
Exactly.
So at this point, you can't give somebody the benefit of the doubt because so often they're not giving you the benefit of the doubt, and they mean it in the harshest way possible. So it makes it really hard to give somebody that little shred of compassion that maybe they're just making an honest mistake.
I need to address something in chat here real quick, and we'll come back to this because I do think this is an important topic, believe it or not. Ebony Williams says, Monkey, is this your regular schedule now? Kind of. When the show started, there was no regular schedule. It was whenever I could do it, and we are kind of back to that. My sleep schedule has been just screwed lately. Fucked. In the last 72 hours, I've had less than 10 hours of sleep. And it's all been in chunks, a little chunk here, a little chunk there. So like last night, I just didn't have it in me to do it. I literally could not sit in this chair and talk to you guys. That's how gone I was. So I got a little bit of a nap, and here I am. So it's going to be, for a little while at the very least, it's going to be whenever I can do it. Sometime between 2 a.m. and say 8 in the morning is when we'll start. If they would just be honest about it. If they just came, look, Christians, they were attacked. Right now, we think it was an Islamic group. Oh, wait, it was an Islamic group. No big deal. But you seem like you're picking sides when you absolutely refuse to name the bad guys. Even if you didn't, even if you didn't name the good guys, you're not naming the bad guys. And by good guys on this, I'm not going, the Christians are the good guys. They were the attack, the victims. Even if you have to stick to your moronic Easter worshiper, I can't even say that with a straight face.
I know, right?
But at least name the bad guys, the guys who did it. You had no problem blaming half the fucking internet for one asshole running into some mosques and shooting people.
Yep.
But don't blame that group that actually is Muslim, for fuck's sake. Miles, thank you so much. Hey, Monkey had a crazy thought. If Pete Buttigieg take Eric Swalwell as vice president, would Buttigieg Swalwell sound like a gay porn star?
Yes.
Yes, that does. It really does. And Terry, thank you. The goat appreciators are a religion of peace, and the explosion connoisseurs will kill as many people as it takes to prove it. Terry, I feel like you're enjoying this too much. Do you remember what happened right after Christchurch?
Let's see.
There was lots of stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. A lot of finger pointing and blaming.
There's two things that I remember very vividly. One, New Zealand immediately cracked down on guns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a great excuse for a gun grab.
I'm fairly certain that bombs are illegal in Sri Lanka, so you don't see that, right?
Yeah.
But we also had a crackdown on speech. We can't see their manifesto anywhere. Can't see his manifesto. It might make other people be like him. Quran.
Yeah, well, the problem is they're creating the Streisand effect again.
Yeah.
By saying, don't look at this, it's going to make everyone want to look at it. And then, of course, they were selling copies of it to the press.
Yes, they were.
So they were profiting off of this other guy's copyright, by the way. So he didn't even get a cut of that.
Right. Which he should.
Yeah, he should probably sue them over. But the whole thing is just insane power grab You know, immediately you want to punish the locals? Really?
No one nowhere says appreciate the hijab day. Yeah, we had that after that too. Remember, because we have to
Yeah,
show our.
that's
I haven't seen a appreciate the Easter Worshippers Day yet. I wonder if that's coming.
well, they don't like those people because you know I assume they do drive-by eggings, but yeah, it's
bitches on Halloween.
they're trying to capitulate to people that are warlike, and that's one of the problems I have with very progressive people is they do not understand the nature of aggression and evil. Bad people are going to do bad things. You can't talk them out of it sometimes. Sometimes capitulating to them is exactly the wrong thing to do. You can't just roll over every time. They will take all your stuff.
Truck and Bear, thank you. I know I'm a bit behind, but nice on the TMBG reference, Jack.
I'm here to help.
What's TMBG?
I don't know.
TMBG. The Muslim bag grab? Fuck, I don't know what that means. And I'm sure I should because we probably laughed when he said it.
It was like 30 seconds ago at least. My memory span does not go back that far. Oh, the Baphomet worshippers.
Oh, yes. There we go. This is
they
why
might be giants.
Giants.
Somebody got that.
Me and Jack get along because our memories, neither one of us has one. So when the next one moves on, it's not like we forgot what we were going to say.
That's because there's shiny things all around me.
Ding, 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 ding.
And I get distracted very easily. But yes, so I did make a They Might Be Giants reference earlier. But anyway, yes, you can't capitulate to extremists by embracing aspects of their culture because that's not going to be enough for them.
Well, I don't understand why we would.
I don't either. It's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody said they sent me a Streamlabs. Again, Streamlabs isn't notifying me of donations. Thank you. Mischiefly inanimate. Mischief. Yeah, I think I'm saying that right. Not much because I'm a poor college student, but happy belated birthday. Much love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You did. Don't forego ramen yourself to give me some. I'm just throwing that out there. I appreciate it. I really do. Yes, this whole story is just fucking stupid. And the way especially the press, man. Who, what, when, where, why? Remember? Isn't that?
You would think, but not these days. We got a lot of yellow journalism going on, and that is not a reference to Asians.
No, that's yellow fever journalism.
Yeah. Call me ladies.
This is why I don't do a separate stream worried about monetization because we ain't never fucking getting it.
Yeah, sorry.
Shit, I'm fine with it because I don't have a staff to pay. Plus, my fans like me, so they toss me ramen money. Phil don't have no fans no more with his lightsaber dueling. He actually
stupid.
On his thumbnail it says Rogue Rocket.
Oh my god, that's such a lazy. Did my mom write that? We need to have something mildly sexual innuendo, and how can we tie that in with Star Wars?
Oh my god. You should have just said lightsaber dick. Ebony, thank you. Chill with the ramen monkey. Too much sodium. Look, I don't eat ramen all that often. Probably 2 or 3 times a week these days because I have to make it. And it's been a rough week, but you leave me alone. Ramen is good. Ramen is life. All hail. I'm a ramen worshiper.
You're a ramen enthusiast.
A ramen enthusiast. I don't know why I follow this channel. They must have made a video once that annoyed me. But there's another one. Burning a Captain Marvel pop figure for 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Why?
Hey, people watch my laundry, dude. I don't ask these questions anymore.
Well, if it was just any old figure, I mean, you know why they did Captain Marvel.
Of course.
Bree's back in the news being a cunt.
No, because she's a girl.
Well, she's a girl too. Endgame is coming out, so it's a way to get yourself a little bit of views by throwing that cat. I've seen a lot of people talking about Captain Marvel lately. It's a way to get yourself some views, and you went out there and spent. What does a pop figure cost?
Oh, $8 to $10, depending on
All right, so yeah,
type.
let's say $8, cheapest you could go, and you burned it. So you've got 1.6 thousand views at this point. If you quadruple that and then times it by 1 million, you might make back the money you made on that video.
Yeah, I don't think people really think that far out, though. You know, they're not really planning their channel well. They're just trying to grab that attention real fast.
If you could get, like, say, that brought you in 10,000 subscribers, yeah, over a little bit of time, you'll make that back. But really, Duck Dog, thank you. Curry ramen. I've never tried it. I'll have to try it.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
I haven't had the pork ramen in a while. I've been dying to get some. I love it, man. It's like the beef ramen, but with more sodium.
Of course. The sriracha is pretty good. I had that the other day.
Do you know how old I am? I'm doing anything I can to preserve myself, and right now it's tons of salt.
I don't think that's how that works. I don't think your kidneys appreciate it.
I'm pretty sure I read that on WebMD.
I am pretty sure you did not read that on WebMD.
Oh my God. There were other things I was going to talk about today. Oh, I know Polly's not here, so I always feel bad talking about the Krasensteins when he's not around, but I finally figured out why they do their little back and forth thing. For those of you who don't know, here's what happens.
Does it involve lightsaber dueling?
It doesn't actually. It's actually it makes sense when you think of who the Krasensteins are. The Krasensteins, guys, is these two mildly retarded twin brothers who respond to everything Donald Trump says. They're big in their minds in the resistance movement. I went to talk and I had myself muted because I coughed. They're really big in the resistance movement because of how many followers they have. And by the way, I'm probably their most active follower.
Yeah.
But they got their followers on a follow for follow scheme. So not many, they don't get much engagement. However, if Ed, the less retarded brother, replies directly to Trump, and then Brian, the slightly more retarded brother, replies to Ed, and then Brian replies back, or Ed replies back, whichever one. That's engagement times 3 right there.
Yeah.
And when each of them does, because Brian and Ed will each make a response to Trump, and then the other brother will respond to that one, and then they'll respond back. So they end up with these 3 things. They're doing what they've always done. They're conning. They're doing what they did to get their sub count so high. They're cheating. It's how they made their money. It's why they ended up giving the government $450,000 to keep from going to prison.
Well, they seem to understand how algorithms and engagement works. So I'll give them credit for that. It's like an idiot savant, or when the special kid learns to tie his shoes, you're like, oh, good job, buddy. I
can't believe they thought of it, though.
Oh, they didn't. Somebody told them that. I would guarantee it.
This only started like 3 weeks ago, maybe. It used to be each one of them would respond so that they could get people to like their stupid shit. And then, excuse me, I'm so sorry. But then they started with this little scheme they came up with to increase their engagement. I'm like, God damn. They're sitting right next to each other, guys. When they make these posts, they're sitting right next to each other. And then they have a little chat on Twitter to each other in 2 different threads. Like, what? What is that? Are you ready for this? HBO's Hugh Laurie Captain Space Satire Avenue 5 is ready for launch.
I like Hugh Laurie. He's funny.
Hugh Laurie is. A lot of people don't know. I mean, he is a comedian.
Yeah, he was awesome on Blackadder.
Most people in the U.S. know him from House, where he does some funny stuff. But I mean, he's an actual comedian. He's a British comedian, guys, and he was on a he was part of a pair for a long time.
Yeah, with Stephen Fry.
Yeah, and I hope he does well with it. I'm a fan. It was amazing to me. We were watching a Friends episode. It's actually season 4 where Rachel goes to stop Ross's wedding. And yes, I know my friends that well. Hugh Laurie actually has a part. Hugh Laurie has a part on there. He's the airline passenger that Rachel talks to.
Huh.
And we were just watching it again one day. I'm like, wait, that's Dr. House. That's how I reference everything. I can 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, anything with Friends. Damn it. Didn't he portray Wolverine in the X-Men movies? Yeah, that was Hugh. He actually, it was Hugh Laurie, eh? I think Pincalo should be the next Wolverine. Have you seen the trailers for Phoenix?
Yeah, I don't know. That last movie was so terrible. This one looks a lot like Final Stand. I don't have a lot of faith in.
Last Stand, thank you.
Yeah, it was sort of Final Stand for me, I assure you.
Here's the thing. The Phoenix Saga, man, that is one of the best stories in comics ever.
Yeah.
Now, I will fight anyone who says different. It was so emotional and so well written. And then I saw Last Stand. I was like, the fuck did they just do?
Yeah.
That's not even close.
Well, it's such a complicated story. They really should do it as like a 3-part or 2-part series at least.
Yeah, it needs a buildup. It would be a great way to introduce them into the MCU, actually. Go old school X-Men and go through the Phoenix Saga. Of course, you'd have to cut some, but I do like, at least it looks like we're going to see the White Witch in this one briefly.
Yeah, I don't know how well they're going to do. Sony's just so bad at this.
How the fuck? Really... I'm sorry. How do you do the Phoenix Saga without the Hellfire Club?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it without space aliens either, but...
Oh, man. But that story was so great. And it was actually my introduction to the X-Men, because I was always a Spidey fan. So I'm like, fuck the X-Men. Because back when I was young, you either like Spider-Man or you like the X-Men. It was our nerd debate back then.
Yeah.
And they even put it on the Spidey comics. What is it? The #1 non-mutant superhero or something like that. But so a friend of mine had it and she let me read it, and she had the graphic novel, and I couldn't put it down. I read it all in one night, like, God damn. And I read it a second time. And so when they were teasing for it with Last Stand, and it was such a letdown. And I see this, and it looks like they're going to do better, but that's like having herpes instead of AIDS.
Yeah, Fox sucks. They blow. They haven't gotten any superhero movie right yet. Venom was as close as it got, and I know how you feel about that one.
Don't get me started on that shit.
Right?
That was horrible. Horrible.
Well, I said Sony earlier because they suck balls too. But yeah, Fox Studios, they got the first couple of X-Men movies pretty good. I liked the first 2, and that was really about it. The New Mutants looked good, but then they shelved that project for whatever reason.
Evil One says Deadpool. Deadpool is a aberration.
Yeah, that's more of an accidental monkeys with typewriters situation.
That was the star believed in it so much. He's the one that pushed that through. He made it happen.
Yeah, I guarantee you if Ryan Reynolds hadn't been attached to that, it would have been awful.
Yes.
No matter who they could have got some of the best actors in the universe on there, and it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good. But because Ryan Reynolds had a passion for the character, that's the only reason. And look at the turd bomb they put him in with Wolverine Origins.
Oh, that was so bad.
That was probably the worst X-Men movie they did.
It's a pretty low bar to hit too.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of like the original X-Men movie. Here's Fox's problem. They're like, and Sony's the same way. It's like people will come watch it just because it has this name in it. Throw any old crappy story in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first X-Men movie, I absolutely hated that they had Storm and Wolverine and Rogue in it. I mean, they didn't bring Beast into what, the third movie?
Yeah.
He predated them by like the entire series.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer was great as Beast, but it was just such a like they started a giant size X-Men instead of going to X-Men 1.
Yes. And as we've seen with the MCU, you don't have to. I mean, you're gonna tweak parts of it. That's fine. But you could have started, with the original X-Men, and then in 2 bring in Wolverine and Storm if you wanted. Slowly introduce them. And no, this was never X-Men. It was Wolverine.
Yeah.
All through.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Phoenix Saga on film makes me sad. I'm with the Asian hippie. I'll watch it when it comes to DVD. I'm not going to the theater for it, but I'm going to watch it with with a video game in my lap or something. I look up for the explosions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably going to see it just because I'm a giant nerd, but
yeah,
I don't want to give them money. I'll wait till one of my buddies has a pass.
There you go.
I got a couple friends that do movie reviews and stuff like that online. They get passes every now and then.
Sweet.
So that's the only reason I saw Captain Marvel. I wouldn't have gone if I had to pay money for that crap fest. And even then, we went to the cheap theater.
There you go. There ain't nothing wrong with the cheap theater, man.
No, that's how you see mediocre movies.
Well, if I want to see something in IMAX, I've got to drive for more than an hour. So,
oh, fuck that.
Yeah, everything I see is in the local theater, which by any city standard would be like, "Ooh, don't go in there." They probably got crack.
Yeah,
there's probably crack on the street on the seats. Don't do that,
dude. There's this theater in Columbus where we used to see movies for $1. It's now $1.50, but the one time that somebody got shot in the theater.
Nice.
And they were closed for like 2 days, and everybody was pissed off because it's one of the cheapest theaters in the state, for that matter. But they were mad because they're like, just clean the blood off and get on with it.
Put a towel over it. It's fine. Yeah, we used to go to a dollar theater in Virginia. We saw a lot of movies that way. They weren't new movies. They were the ones like just before video release.
Yeah.
There's only 3 people that draw a crowd: Brad Pitt, Will Smith, and Tom Cruise. Do you ever go see a movie just because who's in it?
Only if I'm like on the fence about it, like it looks interesting, but I don't really know enough about it. Then I might go because of certain actors in it. Like Vince Vaughn, I'll probably watch about anything he's in because he doesn't take really bad movies most of the time. So most of the time I want to see it anyway. I'll be like, oh, Vince Vaughn's in it. All right, I'll go see it. That's as close as I get.
I might be that way with like Paul Rudd. We talked about him. Paul Rudd, yes, I know he's the same person in every movie. I like that person.
It's Paul Rudd. Yeah, exactly. Vince Vaughn's the same way. I like Vince
Vaughn. So maybe that, but otherwise, I've just been burned too many times.
Yeah. There's too many crappy movies and there's too much virtue signaling.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, frankly, an actor, I kind of like the Kevin Bacon idea of acting. It's like, why do you make so many movies? I'm an actor.
I like eating.
Eating is good, okay? These hoity-toity. I would never take a role that's beneath me. I only do things that are artistic. Go fuck yourself.
Yep. Those people. Anytime somebody mentions their craft, and you hear the word craft come out of their mouth, and they're not talking about cheese in some respect, they're a piece of shit, and you shouldn't listen to them.
Yeah, you're going to see crappy movies where they talk to themselves for way too long.
Yeah. And it won't be fun. It'll be tedious and painful, and it'll probably win an Oscar.
Yes, probably. And nobody will see it after that.
Yeah. You'll see it because your friends recommended it, and they're idiots, and you shouldn't listen to them, too.
And then you'll hate your friends for a while, and you'll make that mistake again later.
I got a buddy who watches every Oscar recommendation, and it's only because they're recommended for Oscars.
Why? So many of those are just bad movies.
Some people just buy into the pretentious crap that it's going to make them look smarter or whatever. I don't get it, but here we are.
Even a movie like Unforgiven, which I absolutely love, that movie could have been an hour shorter and still been good.
Yeah. They were just padding for the accolades.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful movie, man. The cinematography in that is gorgeous. But they could have taken about half an hour out of that movie, and it still would have been great. And if they had, the Oscars wouldn't have looked at them at all.
Yeah,
they would have never. They'd been like, no, that's just a Western.
Yeah, and that's a shame too, because good movies get glossed over that way.
Yeah. Well, see, I've always had a problem with the Oscars also because they don't take popular movies.
No, they take these weird self-congratulatory artsy foo-foo movies that nobody gives a damn about.
They
want to look intellectual.
Sorry, I just saw a tweet from Scribe. He said, I'm befuddled and grateful at the same time. My first video to hit 1 or 10,000 views, and it's movies you should have watched, G.I. Jane. That was actually a great stream. And that movie was one that I was surprised to like. I still had problems with it because the whole message is that she can do whatever they can do. And she insists that happened. She insists that happened, that they treat her like one of the guys.
Oh, that would not fly these days. What a terrible feminist.
Well, then at the very end, she has to be saved by the guys.
Of course she does, because she's a fucking woman doing Navy SEAL work.
Yeah, I mean,
like
so
10 women in the country that could do that shit.
Yeah, and 9.5 of them don't want to.
Yeah, like if I'm in a burning building and you don't look like Lolo Jones, I don't want you coming to save me.
No, you're not going to be able to save me. They'll be like, he was crippled and died in the fire.
Right?
She'd be like, I tried to save him.
Yeah, there'll just be 2 people on the ground dying then. And that's not okay.
She tried to pick him up, broke her ankle, and they both burned to death. I love G.I. Jane, and the stream was amazing. Oh, thank you. Thanks for watching it. It was a lot. People keep asking us when we're going to do our next one. I don't know. With my current schedule, and I don't have time to watch movies. And I know that sounds stupid for somebody who doesn't have a job and lays in bed all day. But most of the time I'm laying in bed, I can't concentrate on anything.
Yeah,
it's not a pleasant experience. I'm not laid back, oh yeah, let's watch this. Decktran says Monkey Backdraft. I had a bad experience with Backdraft, the movie.
Oh, the movie? I thought you were talking about actual Backdraft.
No. I didn't even know what Backdraft was until I saw the movie. My dad was a firefighter in the Navy.
Ooh.
And so Backdraft comes out. I'm so excited to see it because it's this big movie that's come out and it looks good. We popped the VHS tape in, the VHS cassette, y'all. That's how hip I am. I'm an original hipster.
So retro.
I'm an original hipster in OH.
Yeah.
I'm an O, y'all. Anyway, that's O Monkey. Somebody make that a thing, please. OH Monkey. Are you allowed to give yourself that kind of title? Why not? Michael Jackson did.
Yeah, exactly.
So we sit down to watch it, and my dad just the whole time, that's wrong. That is, no, you don't do that. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, the whole time he was just like, no, And so, yeah. The H has to be capitalized, but I appreciate it, fuck hunt.
In Old English, because it needs that.
Yes. Backdraft is coming out. What? Are they making a new one? Or is that a reference to how it slips under the door thing? That's all I remember about the movie, is that Kurt Russell was mad a lot, and the fire would start to come from under the door and then slip back. And
it was a sign of a backdraft, yeah.
Remember when VHS cost $80 to $90? Are you talking about the machines or the tapes?
The tapes.
The tapes, when they first came out, I remember seeing them like 120 was what you usually saw. Because for some reason they had the first VHS tape I ever bought myself was Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. And it was
Nice.
24 something. Yeah. But I do remember when they first came out. Yeah, they were expensive as shit.
Yeah. And if you like video stores had a different quality of tape.
Oh,
They
I
were
didn't know
like
that.
higher end ones. Yeah. I worked at a video store briefly in my misspent youth. And they had like a higher end one that would hold up better. For a long time. They stopped doing that near the end of the craze, of course. But that's why those would cost so much money if you ended up keeping it.
Mm.
Because they were paying like $90 when you could get a similar tape for $20. It just wouldn't hold up as well with repeated views as theirs would.
And the VCRs were heavy as fuck too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why anytime like a new technology comes out, I remember when Blu-ray came out and they were the same big ass, for some reason, the same big ass machines that DVD players had been, even though the technology form is not that different. I'm like, I'm gonna give that a month till they start making the slim ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the Walmart version.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we still have mostly DVD player with that. We only have one Blu-ray player in the house, besides, because my son has a Xbox One and I have the PS4, but
Yeah, those don't count. That's more of a secondary feature.
right. Although they tout it up as one. You can watch Blu-rays on this. I'm like, or I could go to the TV. In the family room where the big TV is.
Yeah.
We got lucky, God, probably 4 years ago now. Walmart had these really big TVs on sale and for Black Friday, and nobody bought them. Seriously, our local one, we went in there, it was like a month and a half later, and where I worked, we actually got bonus checks, and we got those in, and we were going through the store, and my daughter had asked us if we saw any, because she wanted one, to pick her up one, and we looked, and this was a, what is it, a 50? I think it's a 50-inch.
Nice.
It was $150.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Holy
not
shit.
it's not a smart one. It's just, just a standard flat screen TV. And I'm like, honey, can we get one? And she's like, yeah, we can do that. I'm like, thank you. I love you. So yeah, if I'm going to watch a movie, I go sit upstairs and watch it on the big screen. I'm not watching on my fucking PlayStation.
Yeah.
On my little tiny computer monitor here.
The monitor on my laptop is bigger than my TV.
Oh wow.
I refuse to buy anything. I'm gonna have to move in 6 months.
See, you youngins out there in the audience, you have no idea. You have no idea. We moved, let's see, in my lifetime, I've moved a total, I think it's 24 times. And back in the day when you moved, those TVs were heavy.
Yeah, tube TVs, man, they were no joke. You better have your back brace on.
Even a little 21-inch, man, those things were fucking heavy. And now you get that 50-inch TV, even cripple, I can pick up.
Yeah, because it's like 15 pounds.
Yeah, and that's if I left something sitting on top of it. I use a 35-incher for my monitor. I actually have dual monitors. I have this small 24, and then I have a 32-inch, and both of them are TVs because at the time I bought them many, many years ago. The TV I think was 138. It's a Walmart TV, and that seems to be their standard for that size. Yeah, and at the time, monitors of the same size were like almost twice as much. I'm like, nope. And everybody like, what about the quality? I'm like, it looks fine. The fuck are you talking about? It looks so much crisper on a monitor. I'm like, you're drunk. You're trying to convince yourself of that because you paid that much more for it.
That's what I've always said. But we were raised in the tube TV era, so you're used to a different quality level.
Dude, I remember when I was little, we had one color TV, and then we had two black and whites. I actually remember black and white TVs, y'all.
Yeah, I had
We go ahead.
we had similar situation.
Yeah, we came up right at the end of the black and white TV era. I still remember in color being put on the bottom of everything.
Yep.
In surrounds or in stereo. In stereo. Remember that? It was a big thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we had mono TV for a little while.
Mm-hmm. In stereo, where available. Nowadays, you look at that and like, why didn't they have it in stereo, for fuck's sake? Monkey, I know I'm late, but I like saying your name. Thank you. I like you saying my name. Say my name. Speaking of PlayStation, is it wrong that I swapped a Final Fantasy VIII Disc 3 from a rental copy with my broken Disc 3 of a copy of this game I already owned? I would say yes, but that's your own morality. Did you ever go outside and move the antenna to get the movie reception? No. We actually lived in cities, so you didn't really have like antennas on houses. But I do vividly remember adjusting antennas, and if one of them broke off, you took a metal coat hanger.
Yep. And covered it in tinfoil.
Yes, and you stuck it in there. It's absolutely true. You know, my wife told me something that made me think about TVs. I don't know if this is true. The internet says it's true. My wife insists that it's true. But you know, these days, cars, they have, instead of a key, the little clicker thing.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them do not have much range. You know, I swear ours is like 15 feet, but at which time I'm like, I could have just turned the damn thing on. But if you take it and you put it up to your neck, point it into your neck, and push the buttons, it gives you much further range.
That's fucked up.
Now, there's going to be people who say, no, that doesn't work. But I want you to think about something. If you're as old as I am, and you lived in a city and you had the rabbit ears, do you remember a time when you go to adjust the rabbit ears and just touching the antenna cleared up the screen?
Well, the human body works as an antenna.
Yeah, see,
we're an electrical conductor. It's why lightning attacks will hit you first. It's looking for the fastest way to the ground.
When she told me that at first, I'm like, that's insane. You're out of your fucking mind. And she's the one who pointed out the TV antenna. I'm like, oh, well, shit. Yes, I am an antenna. I am an antenna, y'all.
Yeah, we're very susceptible to different energy waves. It's provable fact. So
Selther says, put it up to your skull and it works insanely well. I was skeptical. I was, until she brought up the TV thing. And look, audio visual has always been my thing. I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't part of the audio visual club or anything. But like, I always set up people's cable and stuff. These days, it's like, Frank, will you come fix my computer? I'm like, do I have to? But so I was always doing stuff like that, you know, trying to get things better and to look better and stuff. So yeah, as soon as she said them, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I hate when that happens. I hate when she's right.
Well, I don't think that'd be something you'd want to do all the time. It's probably not healthy to constantly expose yourself to different forms of energy, because I mean, your phone is up by your head all the time.
But well, mine's not. Mine's usually in my crotch. That's not true. Mine's usually on my desk.
That's probably not a good spot to put it either. But
dude, do you remember when they said phones cause brain cancer?
Yeah.
I used to always have my phone, because the only time I ever had a phone on me was when I was driving back and forth to work, and I put it in my lap so that if it buzzed, I knew it went off. Hi, Polly.
Dick cancer.
I was.
What's that?
How you doing, man?
What's going on?
We're talking about my worry of dick cancer.
Well, every rational person has a fear of dick cancer.
Well, when they started talking about, yeah, okay, the cell phone's going to cause brain cancer, I'm like, can it give me nut cancer? But anyway, I'm hoping my wife does this so much that I can take that and just hit a button and get her all warm.
They make vibrators that you can dial into. That Corinne chick was using one on Ice Poseidon stream, apparently.
Oh yeah.
So
No, that's too much technology for me. I'm good. Polly, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right.
You just waking up, or you?
I napped earlier because I was having a bit of a vertigo spell. I feel better,
dude.
but it sort of fucked me up for sleeping. I slept from
Believe
like
me,
11:30 to 1:30, something in that range. Like
I feel you, man. I'm glad to hear it's doing a little bit better. I'm actually gonna pop a couple more pills here, guys. Sorry, I hate you guys having to hear that on the air. Here, it's a maraca.
it's okay. I got them too.
Welcome to the.
That's a great idea, man. The next happy birthday be happy birthday to you. Yeah.
and then we'll get a cowbell and some triangles, and it's going to turn into a whole Partridge Family thing.
The 70s.
It's starting to sound like work, Polly.
Did I ever tell you about my idea for? I was telling Far about this the other day. The maracas I would buy if I won the lottery.
No.
Culturally appropriating kind.
Well, yes, of course. No, I'd buy a pair of maracas, paint them jet black, and then a couple of gold dollar signs on each one. And you know how a guy might have a display of two swords on his wall crossed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the way they would be. They'd be up on the wall, the maracas crossed. And then once a year, I would take them down on the anniversary date of me winning the lottery, and I'd run around the house doing the money dance.
Oh,
I like that.
And the whole point of the money dance is there isn't any particular steps to it. You just throw yourself around like a drunken idiot and shake the maracas in everyone's face going, money, 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 money. Once per year, I would permit myself that level of.
When you're rich, you're eccentric.
Exactly. It's not crazy. It's just that Polly's a little weird with them money maracas.
I don't own a gun. I'm not against guns, but I don't own one. But if I won the lottery, like a big thing, I would get gold-plated revolvers to hang over a mantle because I just think it looks cool.
I like the fact you went revolvers. Have you ever noticed like Desert Eagle Magnum Research Inc. really did produce a gold-plated Desert Eagle, and it's the tackiest.
It looks gay.
Oh, dude, it looks so bad. But every time you have an African warlord or somebody who's low down trying to make themselves bigger than they are, that's what they get. That's what the armorer from the studio gives that character is the gold-plated Desert Eagle, and it fits perfect. That's what the child warlord had in Blood Diamond, because it's perfect.
I would want the long-barreled revolver just because I think it's actually a very beautiful piece.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'll take all the firearm part of firearms out of it, revolvers are just pretty.
No, yeah,
I don't know what it is about them. I like them. Dual gold-plated 50 cal revolvers. Yeah, there you go. And I would never shoot them.
See, Jack's a gun owner too. He would get this. Like if I won the lottery or had a lot of disposable income, I'd love to be able to buy guns in pairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's very John Woo. I want to be able to have like two 1911 Commanders, same model in sequence, like the serial numbers are in sequence with each other. There's no reason to have two guns. And I fired two guns at one time at the range, just see how hard it was. It's very, very hard.
End up shooting yourself in the eye.
That's more of a spray and pray sort of thing. Like, there's a lot of bad guys here. I'm just gonna fire randomly and hope for the best.
Yeah,
you only do that when they killed your dog.
Yeah,
the purpose in the second gun is really the New York reload more than it is to fire both at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Sure. You know what I'd really want, and I know it could never happen because it's probably in the Smithsonian. I want Wyatt Earp's gun.
I thought you were going to say John Wilkes Booth.
No, that one's fine. That's a crappy looking gun.
Did you ever see one? Somebody was brought this up in Discord, and I grabbed a picture of it. I've got a image of Wyatt Earp's gun. Do you know who owns the dueling pistols? Just speaking of like historic firearms, right? You know who owns the dueling pistols between Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr?
I hope Burr's descendants.
No, a law firm in New York.
Really?
Yep, they're in a display case in their lobby.
Huh. That's odd.
It's just like, of all people, it had to be fucking lawyers. I don't know.
Of course.
Lawyers.
It's probably how they paid. Like,
They-
your dad just died. We're taking these guns as payment. Fucking lawyers.
Yeah,
Well,
it just makes me angry.
what famous gun do you want the most in life, Polly? Because then Jason Momoa can buy it.
And fuck it.
Well, yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. He might do it just to spite you. I don't know what you did to that man, but I'm going to find out.
Random ass, do they actually use them to resolve issues? You know what? I would respect them if they did. And Green Thunder says, Monkey, have you seen the pair of 1911s made out of a meteorite? I have not.
I did. They're interesting looking, insanely expensive,
I
obviously,
imagine.
but the whole point was to make them out of a super rare metal, and meteorite metal. It doesn't get any rarer than that.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up now. Oh, wow.
They went, the crystalline look of it is, really accentuates the fact that it's meteorite metal. They did a great job.
That is actually a really, really pretty weapon. I'm not usually a fan of the 45 kind of style, the pistol. I'm a revolver fan. I don't know why. I'm old school.
What do you have against 1911s?
What's that?
What do you have against 1911s? It's the Yankee fist.
No, it's not. Again, I just prefer the revolvers. All I'm saying.
Where am I going to put that, Polly? I can't carry that with me.
We've been over this, Jack. It's a duty pistol. You just come on.
Oh, there's one of those. Oh, is that a real gun? A gun with Trump 45,
Probably.
a gold-plated Trump 45 pistol.
I'm sure it is because Hillary was a little bit more gun grabby than Trump, so I'm sure somebody.
I hope that is real. I really do. It's tacky as fuck, but I hope that's. Oh, I like the stars on the trigger. God, I hope that's real. Oh man. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Easter worshippers.
Oh yeah, we talked about them, and I'm not a fan of any bombs. I just want to throw that out there. Although a bunker, you ever see a bunker buster? I love the video of the Moab being dropped.
That's what bombs are supposed to look like.
What did OH stand for? We just talked about OH Monkey. What does the H stand for, guys? Help me out here.
Oh hell.
Original
Hipster.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the original hipster. Got to throw that out there.
Thought you were talking about in terms of the Moab.
No. See, Polly, because I've decided, since I was actually born during the time all of these hipsters love this shit, the shit that they love. I'm the OH, the original hipster.
Okay, so here is I couldn't find my original copy of it. So anyway, I looked it up. There they are.
Oh, see, yeah, those are beautiful.
Now, the Buntline Special, it's called, because it's a Colt 45, like a Colt single action army.
Yeah.
Standard in 45 Colt, but it has a 12-inch barrel on it. What's that?
Nothing. I was just making a sex joke.
The reason why is that Monkey, I'm sure you know, Wyatt Earp really loved to crank people over the back of the head with his revolver barrel.
Yeah, once or twice.
Yeah, and it's kind of underrated how what do they call it? Buffaloing someone, because you hit him once and you drop him like a dumb animal, like because he used to be a buffalo.
Oh,
so
gotcha. Yeah.
Buffaloing. Yeah, they call it buffaloing someone to crank him over the back of the head. The chances of you killing them are really good doing that.
Well, yeah,
it's
I mean,
kind of a bitch move too. You're hitting them in the back of the head.
It absolutely is. But remember, Wyatt Earp did not get paid a salary as town sheriff. He got paid per arrest, $2 per arrest. So he had a financial incentive to arrest as many people as possible.
Wasn't he running a brothel around the same time?
And a couple of crooked pharaoh games, and had some money and some mines that weren't exactly. They didn't have the claim laid on them properly, but whatever. What's your point, man?
Excuse me. I've seen Tombstone. He won those mines fair and square. And he made the Pharaoh game fair for the first time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's go with that. Let's go. I mean, what's interesting? The original series Star Trek episode where they get cast back in time, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Chekhov to fight it out in Tombstone. The episode's called Spectre of the Gun, and they're playing the Clantons and the McLowrys, the cowboys that the Earps were fighting, right? That is one of the most realistic, interestingly, descriptions that I have ever heard in terms of a responsible historical reconstruction of what happened. It's Chekhov doesn't know what the fuck's going on because he's a Russian, right? So he goes, "What the hell are you talking about, Captain or Captain?" And he goes, "Mr. Chekhov, in 1881, two factions fought for the control of the town of Tombstone, and they had their final showdown, as it were, on October 22nd, I think it is, 1881.
Oh,
the gunfight at the OK Corral. That is a not bad description of what happened. Two vying factions. It's not like Ike Clanton didn't have friends. It's not like him and Wyatt Earp weren't friends. It's, you know what I mean? Like, and they're like, well, yeah, but they were. You had the one. Yeah,
you need to watch Tombstone again. You're getting your
Am I wrong again?
You're getting your facts all wrong. Look, Ike Clanton was an asshole who the honorable Mr. Earp never did anything to.
Earp didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing. It all happened because they went to disarm him, and Doc Holliday pulled out a shotgun and scared him, and everybody started shooting, and the Clantons got what they deserved because they're bad people. The end.
I was wrong, apparently.
You are, and in the future, please please watch the Hollywood rendition before you speak of such things.
Well, we've had the argument out, right, between Wyatt Earp the movie and Tombstone the movie.
Sure,
yeah. I mean, it's not like Wyatt Earp does not present the Earps as heroic and noble. It absolutely does. Not quite as far as Tombstone does, mind you, but they
I mean, not as accurately.
Yeah, that's right.
Not accurately. That's right.
They do deviate from historical reality a little bit more. You get Mark Harmon.
Oh yeah.
He plays Sheriff Johnny B in Wyatt Earp, and he's got a great line where he actually does yell at Earp. It's like, what do you care if the cowboys are rustling up Mexican cattle from across the border? They don't tell you how to run your saloons. And it's like, there's the point, because in the saloons, they're skimming off the top. They're not paying the right amount of taxes. They're not paying anything into the city treasury. And all their Pharaoh games are fucking crooked. And their liquor is probably watered down. But
Ollie, you are insulting the name of the holy saint Earp.
Yeah.
Look, Tombstone is so historically inaccurate. It's a joke, actually. The only things they get right in that movie are the names and the end credits. I think that's it. But it's a fun movie. It really is, and it's how Americans want the Old West to be.
And I'm okay with the idealization of the West. Like, I've got no problem with that. It's like, if you want real West, like real grit, you can watch Deadwood, and it's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If you want idealization, you can watch Tombstone and Wyatt Earp, and then or as far gone as it gets, The Quick and the Dead, which is full of shit, and it's an awesome movie.
It is weird to me, though, that we idolize not only the heroes of the West, but the villains as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we have as much regard for Wyatt Earp as we do Billy the Kid, for Jesse James, for fuck's sake.
But frontierism, rugged individualism, everyone's their own man. You got to stand up for what's right. There's dirty. It's great. I mean,
not necessarily just what's right, because if you pay attention to the stories, like take Young Guns, for example, there's actually a lot of historical accuracy in that movie. But they portray Billy as he might be a murderer and all, but he was kind of pushed into it as a form of retaliation for horrible things that happened to what's his name? The English guy that got killed early on.
I don't
Fuck.
remember that dude's name. Nobody.
Oh, you mean the place he was ranching at when he was, he was a ranch hand? Yeah,
yeah, he was a ranch hand. There was, warring factions here, and they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing until he was killed, and then so they were actually just trying to go do the law. And if you watch things about Jesse James, I mean, this is a guy who was kept down because they were just trying to fight back against the northern oppression after the war. And how fucked they got, which, I mean, part of that's true.
Yeah,
he was also just a stone cold killer and robber, for fuck's sake.
I hear you, and that raises a really interesting question for me, and because historians raise it. That's where I got it from. It's like, would what's the name of Jesse James gang, the James Younger gang?
James Younger, yeah.
If they had the same amnesty that all of the Confederate soldiers and auxiliaries had gotten, they were just guerrilla fighters, were considered during the war, just guerrilla fighters, right? They weren't part of any regulated militia. They weren't and even unregulated militia people got the amnesty, but they didn't. If they were given that immunity and not hunted in the way that they really were historically, would they have got turned over to bank robbing? I think they would have.
I think they would have. I think that's just who they were.
Exactly. Yeah. They were just killers, man. You can't.
They were just people that like to hurt other people. It's like hiring a biker gang to go do your dirty work.
Yeah, I mean, reference Altamont Freeway. Don't hire them for security. Do you guys know that reference?
Yeah, the Jack? Rolling Stones.
Okay, okay, cool.
But it's the same goes for Billy the Kid. I mean, there are things, if you look into his past and stuff, I mean, that kind of pushed him to kill his first man.
But then
he was gonna do it anyway. he was looking for an excuse. Pincalo asked, Wyatt Earp, Tombstone, or Young Guns, which is truly the best? Okay, are you talking about historical accuracy or the more fun movie? Because Tombstone by far is the most fun of all of those.
And then the next two is what I'm curious about from you in terms of order.
I would go Young Guns and then Wyatt Earp.
Okay.
I love Young Guns. I really do. And Young Guns too, man, with that soundtrack. Are you kidding me?
What about you, Jack? You got a call on this?
I haven't seen Wyatt Earp or Young Guns in a really long time, so I'm going to abstain. But the best of the three is easily Tombstone, in my opinion. It's a guys movie,
For me, it's Wyatt Earp, Tombstone, Young Guns in that order.
Oh, I didn't know you were a woman.
It's just Dennis Quaid literally brings to life for me John Holiday, Doc Holiday.
Don't you dare!
Who's my favorite character from the? We've had this one out, man.
Son of a bitch!
And Kick Polly starts up again.
You son of a bitch! Look, the reason Tombstone is so good is Val Kilmer, and it's his Doc Holiday. I get what you're saying, especially if you're going more historically. Quaid's version is a lot better, but you son of a bitch.
I like I said, he nudges him out by a little bit just because. Oh man, he even nails the Georgia accent just right, like the Georgia aristocracy that he was from, and the hacking and the coughing that he does, and the friendship that he has with Earp, that to make it make sense why he rode with him for so long. All of it, yeah. Quaid, that's his crowning achievement as an actor, as far as I'm concerned.
What about Inner Space?
You're right. I forgot about that, and Jaws 2.
Great, now Guns are going to be. I forgot he was in that. Holy shit! Oh yeah. Oh man. Polly just picked the wrong hair off Monkey's ass. Look. There's a couple of things sacred to me in my life. My family, and Tombstone.
I was watching the riff tracks of Day After Tomorrow.
Oh god, that movie.
And it's Dennis Quaid, of course, is the protagonist in that film, right? Or Jake Gyllenhaal, depends on how you look at it. But he's in it, and I'm watching it with this girl, and she said something like, I mean, you not quite the visceral level of reaction you just have, but I got downright upset. She's like, we're about 45 minutes into the movie, and she goes, this guy's like a poor man's Harrison Ford. And I was like, I was just,
Yep.
I like her.
I got so mad. And
Oh.
part of it was because I didn't want to admit that she was kind of right, but shut up, you know.
She sounds like a keeper, Polly.
No shit. You've been corrected, Polly, and she is right. Quaid was in 3, not 2. Jaws 3.
In 3, not 2. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Angela.
3D.
In 3, Jaws in 3D. Oh God, the 3D craze. I like how that comes around like every 15 years.
Yeah.
Except for this latest one hasn't gone away because they've actually made it a lot better.
A little while back, somebody asked me, and I'm just going to scroll back here to see if I'm looking forward to the Tombstone movie or the Deadwood movie. Hayden White, that's who it was. Yeah, very much so. I mean, that'll be something. All the actors are still around. I don't know. I haven't kept up on news. I don't know if they're going to do a prequel thing or a parallel story that doesn't have any of the main actors in it, or if they're just going to bring back Elsewhere, Gin and Company. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. A fucking huge way.
I like that show, but I lost so much interest, and it's still a good show, but I lost so much interest when Wild Bill dies.
I hear you.
He was such a good character in there, and I remember watching this with Lady Monkey, who knows nothing of the Old West and stuff.
Right.
And the scene comes up, he's sitting there playing poker. I'm like, he's about to die. And she goes, nuh-uh. I'm like,
nuh-uh.
Aces and eights.
Aces and eights, dead man's hand. And which is weird because she's played poker. She knows that phrase. She just didn't know where it came from. And then after that, I mean, you're right. It's a good show. And as far as, life in the Old West, they do a pretty good. They got a little too good at it at times. Like, I don't need to see where people shit.
You're not wrong. People ask for like realism in their Westerns, and it's like, okay, here, I don't want to watch that. God, man, everyone's teeth, it's awful. People cuss like you wouldn't fucking believe. You're dirty as fuck. Everyone's racist as shit, but it doesn't matter because if you got a gun, you can protect yourself. Like just awful. And it's like, yeah, welcome to the West. What?
Yeah. But see, we don't want that. That's like British TV. That's where they put ugly, dirty people. In American cinema and TV, we put pretty people with nice smiles.
Now, that raises a question for me. One thing that 70s film, like the director creator led films of the 70s, certainly not all of them, but like the Robert Altmans and the Coppolas and so forth, right? They tended towards less pretty people on a regular basis. If you watch French Connection, my favorite Altman film, it's a bunch of grimy, a bunch of hairbag guys who just really need a haircut and they need a fucking clean shave. If you look at MASH, the movie, another Altman movie,
oh god, yeah.
No one's pretty. Everyone's got snaggle teeth. Everyone does that. Like I hear what you say. Like we tend to put pretty people in movies. Hollywood does. I hear you. But then the 70s were kind of like an outlier in that way. They went away from the leading man, and all of a sudden, somebody like Gene Hackman can not be a leading man in terms of a romantic role, but as a protagonist, absolutely. I don't know. Hasn't something been lost when we went back to fucking Clooney's?
No, absolutely. That's not to say pretty people can't act. There are some, but if you watch a lot of movies and say they're not like, dear God, please get him off the screen ugly. But they're like, this is, he's not your dashing leading man kind, or she's just a plain Jane. She's not the Hollywood starlet types. Yeah, we're missing a lot of that these days.
When it comes to ugly people, I think, can you imagine if they weren't willing to give roles to people that weren't picture perfect? I mean, there'd be no Steve Buscemi, there'd be no Paul Giamatti, and both those guys rock. Like what?
I blame Top Gun. I really do.
That's great.
if you look at movies before Top Gun, I mean, you had Kevin Bacon is not a beautiful man. And the chick that was in Footloose with him, not Horseface, the other one. She's not your standard starlet. She was just, okay, I'd bang that in high school. But then you get to Top Gun, and you have Tom Cruise. You have Val Kilmer when he actually was a beautiful man. Kelly McGillis. And they even made what was his name in Anthony Edwards.
Goose. Is that it?
Yeah, but I was trying to think of his name in Revenge of the Nerds. Was it Edward?
Oh, yeah.
No, because that's his real name. Gilbert. They actually made Gilbert from Revenge of the Nerds look cool. And his wife is fucking Meg Ryan when she was the cutest, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, pre-surgery. Yeah.
And you just have all of these beautiful people on screen, and they're just doing the coolest shit ever, flying fucking F-14s. And then Hollywood's like, we have to have only pretty people. And yeah, we ended up with a lot of bad actors.
When you think about Top Gun, it wasn't, and it was deliberate by Tony Scott. I actually listened to the director's commentary. Me and an ex-girlfriend had like that was our good bad movie, but kind of good movie. You know what I mean? Like we watched it a number of times.
Bad movie, great to watch though.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a million in jokes that you can, I want some butts. Like it doesn't stop with this film. And it has the thing that makes every movie better, Michael Ironside. So the I don't know if you guys dig Michael Ironside, but
everybody likes Michael Ironside. If they don't, they're a commie.
It's like I say, he elevates any movie he's in instantaneously. Starship Troopers wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable without Michael Ironside. It's great. Anyway, we watched it because we had the Blu-ray, and there's a Tony Scott director's commentary on it. We decided, well, we're going to watch it. Why don't we watch it with the commentary? Holy shit. It's not by accident that all that stuff happens. The amount of time that they spent oiling the actors up and spraying them down with atomizers with water in it to make sure they're glistening. Just so the fact Kelly McGillis had the stockings with the line down the back. I forget what they're called. Like he said, I really thought that some of the female people that work behind the camera, some of the producers, we had a whole bunch of line producers and associate producers, and they were women. And I thought that they were going to take umbrage with the way that I was presenting Kelly McGillis. She's supposed to be a professional. She's supposed to be this contractor brought in from the Pentagon to advise them and stuff. And it's like you're presenting her as just a pure sex symbol. And interestingly, Tony Scott said all of the reaction was like, no, she's highly competent and highly sexy, and she owns it all. What's the problem? And it was, well, before people got woke, I guess.
Yes, yeah, that back when you were allowed to be fun.
And he's not he joked around about like, I never saw the volleyball scene as being homosexual undertones. I can't believe people saw it that way.
It's hugely gay. What are you talking about?
That's what I just tell you what he said. He's
I get that, but
he's lying.
He jacks off to that stuff now. You have them slow motion with their glistening bodies, and notice not a drop of sand on them, even though they're diving into the sand all the time. No, they're perfectly shaved pecs. Have to be shown in just as the sun glistens off their nipple. Like, come on, you knew that was gay.
It was one of his associate producers that insisted to constantly put Cruise up on a couple of phone books or a crate or whatever, or have pillows under his butt when he was sitting on a couch next to Kelly McGillis, because you can't have the man be shorter than the woman because it's going to remove his attractiveness by like double.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it was the women who were saying that to me. And I was like, really? You think so? And they're like, absolutely. You have to make them at least the same height. I'm advising make it a little bit taller. So yeah, there you go. I was like,
wait,
wild.
Hang on. Random says, well, I've never seen Top Gun and now I never will. Watch it. It's a fun movie, man.
It is.
They're remaking it.
It's terrible.
They're remaking it?
Yeah, they're remaking Top Gun.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a sequel, technically.
But they're remaking it. Like, come on.
What isn't gay to me? Look, if you have not seen the volleyball scene in Top Gun, look it up on YouTube. I am sure it's there. It is gay as fuck. Now they might have been like trying to get the women's for that, but no, that is gay, horribly gay. But somehow it goes with the movie. It fits in perfectly. You have all this macho shit in this movie, which is great. It really is. It made me want to fly F-14s. I'm telling you.
Well, I can see why. I mean, the way they present everything with, especially with the nondescript enemies they're fighting at the end that are just like vaguely Russian with red stars, but they never say.
It's one of those weird unnamed countries we had the war with.
Yeah.
Fan service for the ladies. Moonshock, that is not fan service for the ladies. That is fan service for the men, for the gay men.
And they originally were thinking about it wasn't going to be volleyball, it was going to be football, because you can still have guys roughhousing, shirts off, etc. But
Sure.
to make it more fan service and to show off all these hunks that they had hired, you know what I mean? It's like we need a sport where they're not running, they're more or less standing still. And the one that came up was volleyball. They're going to be able to do athletic stuff, but they're more or less standing in place. You know what I mean? As opposed to football, where everything would just be blurs of pecs as they run by the camera.
Imagine how much different the movie would be if somebody had suggested badminton.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, it's kind of an odd game for a bunch of
lawn darts.
lawn darts.
3 people lose eyes that day.
what asshole thought that was a good toy for kids? Oh my God.
We had those, man. We had.
So did we.
It was awesome.
I remember when they finally got rid of them because they kept piercing children's skulls.
Those kids are pussies. They need to walk it off.
Needed more milk in their diet, motherfucker. For those of you who don't know what a lawn dart is, it's this giant dart with a really heavy end. And even though they rounded off the tip, it was heavy. And you would throw it up in the sky to try to hit where you're trying, the mark. And what happened was little kids kept getting stabbed with these things. I don't mean to laugh, but who thought that was a kid's toy?
No, I'm with Midnight in Exile. Bring lawn darts back and make America great again. It'll toughen these pussy millennials up.
Hey, it's natural selection. If you're dumb enough to stand under the dart looking up, then you don't deserve that eye.
Exactly. You got to earn those eyeballs, kid. Just because they were given to you doesn't mean you can keep them.
Oh man. Oh God. No, I really do love the movie, but I think Top Gun was a turning point if you look at the history of film and when suddenly everybody had to be pretty. And the only time we get the good ugly actors now is when they start as somebody's sidekick, because you can have an ugly sidekick. Like Steve Buscemi, he didn't start as no leading man. He had lots of roles where he's, if not sidekick, a bit player or minor role. And it just, this guy's a good actor. And it's like, well, we'll give him a shot. And yeah, I think we are moving away from it more too. Unless you're in the Marvel universe. They've started putting uglier people in there, and sometimes it's because it's a movie about a fat chick, but that's okay too. They still try to get pretty fat chicks. And I actually had an argument with my daughter one time. She said, if you say a girl has a pretty face, you're saying she's ugly. I'm like, what? Because you're saying she's fat. I'm like, that's not necessarily true. So yes, it is.
Did you look at her and be like, you are so unaccepting of fat people?
No, it caught me off guard because we were just driving somewhere, and I don't even remember. I think something came on the radio, and they mentioned some fat chick, and she goes, they always say she has a pretty face. If you say that, you're actually saying they're fat and they're not pretty. I'm like, I want to disagree with you. I want to be that guy, but
that's when you have to have that father-daughter talk and be like, look, honey, fat people aren't pretty.
You do that to me all the time, you motherfucker. Oh, man. I've enjoyed this conversation.
Now, have you guys ever read the book that Day After Tomorrow was loosely inspired by?
No, I have not.
It's quite fun, not quite as hilariously bad as the movie, but it's called The Coming Global Superstorm by Art Bell and Whitley Strieber. Art Bell used to host Coast to Coast AM.
Yes, he was the original Alex Jones, man.
Yeah, so good times. If you ever get a chance to read it, it's all about the horrors of climate change.
I didn't realize Art Bell was involved in that.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't directly. They used the book as like a reference guide.
Well, sure.
For the movie. But
Would
him
it
and
make
Whitley
sense?
Scribe. So yeah, that book came out in like 1999.
You guys know me and my thoughts on the whole climate change thing. I'm not going into them here. But that movie was so wonderfully bad.
Oh, man, how awesome is that scene where they're running down the hallway because the cold is chasing them and they got to shut
Yes.
You can shut a door and keep the cold out.
and they run to the other side of the room after blocking the door because the cold's going to kick it down, I guess. Yeah. And they start shoveling shit into the giant fireplace to get the fire going.
See, that's where they thought they stored their carbon credits, which the cold is terrified of.
They literally run from climate change in this movie, guys. It is fucking amazing.
It's not just a metaphor; it's literal. You can outrun it.
And the vice president is a very obvious, transparent stand-in for Dick Cheney.
Yes. But my favorite part of that movie, and there's a lot of problems with that movie, but there's Arctic wolves in New York for some reason. All of a sudden.
Digital wolves.
They look so bad.
Well, they were brought to life by the climate change.
they're climate change wolves. There's a scene where Frank dies. They're walking across the tundra of the United States now.
Yeah. Which,
by the way, it depends on what scene they're in, how deep that snow is.
Yeah, it changes.
It changes. But they're walking along and they're three of them? And they're tethered together. And suddenly the ground breaks out underneath Frank, which I feel I'm offended by that because they always kill. If there's a character named Frank in a movie, unless it's Punisher, he's gonna die.
Yeah, Frank is like the action movie version of black people in horror films.
Yes.
You know he's gonna die.
Frank's the black guy.
Yeah,
but anyway,
Frank Castle. Yeah.
So they're walking across this, right, and they actually show him their feet are crunching into the ice, but he falls through. And then Dennis Quaid takes his ice pick as they start to all slide because Frank's fat ass is pulling him down, and he jams it into the ground. And we find out they're actually on top. They're on a glass roof of a mall.
Yeah.
And somehow him jamming his pick into that ground did not break the window he's on, even though Frank's fat ass just fell through.
I never noticed that.
And then he just kind of wipes the snow away off the glass and looks down to see Frank, who nobly kills himself so the other two don't die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, none of that made sense. None of it. At the very least, that glass would have fogged up. But yeah, you can see perfectly through the glass. He should have just shattered and fell through. They should have been hanging there, able to give each other high fives as the poor bastard in the middle held him up. It was, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then, oh God, I'm sorry, guys, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm ruining it, but there's really nothing to ruin.
No, that movie ruins itself.
When Dennis Quaid is running from the global warming. And I want to know how they know it's coming. Like, oh my God, there's the global warming.
I wish you were kidding, but I know you're not. That's what
I'm not. They dive into this Wendy's, and he just turns on the burners, and that's enough to save them from the global warming. It's so cold, it froze the gas in a helicopter.
Yeah, it freezes people instantly, like the ashes of Pompeii.
I love that fucking movie. It's so bad. How about all of the red hot liberal porn moments where,
oh God, yeah.
It's like, in an unbelievable change of events, Americans are now crossing the Mexican border.
Yes. Have you ever seen the South Park version of this?
Yes, it's great. Mr. Dax, Wendy's, the arch nemesis of global warming.
That's right.
If you want to fight global warming, you go to Wendy's, kids.
Oh, God. Do you think after that movie came out, they're like, shit, that was bad placement?
No, that was great placement. They saved the day.
That movie was so bad. It's so bad. But I love it.
If you get a chance to watch this movie, watch The Mummy and watch the chase scenes when they're running away from the giant sandstorm mummy. It's very similar, I think.
Yeah, Polly, if you haven't seen that South Park episode, look it up. I don't remember the name of it, but just look up global warming South Park episode.
Okay.
They make fun of, they parody this movie perfectly. I love how they made global warming a tangible thing. Yeah, it was oh my God, they literally ran from global warming, which by the way was freezing them all to death.
But
They
that's
did
something
burn
that
a lot of books, so that was probably another good hot take there for the SJWs.
Oh God! So many moments. Remember when they're trying to talk about like the books to which books are we going to burn?
Yes,
And he's sitting there holding on to a copy of I forget what it was. It was a Gutenberg Bible, and an original copy of a first printing of Nietzsche's work. And he's like, "Oh, well, you got there a Bible, like the smart-ass college student." She goes, "Do you think God's going to save you?" And it's like, oh, fuck off, every one of you, fuck right off. It's
the only way that movie could have actually saved itself is if Al Gore had swooped in wearing the Pope hat, because he's the Pope of global warming, and he managed to hold it off at bay using wizard powers and or carbon credits probably, and everybody got to escape that way. That would have been made all worthwhile.
Stand back, I have the carbon credits. Pincalo points out the name of the South Park episode is 2 days after the day after tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking awesome. They have the Cheney character in there too, and that scene is awesome. What is Randy actually calls him Mr. Stereotypical Republican dissenter or something like that. It's fucking great. Yeah, and I love that they walk in this storm as they're running from global warming from Philadelphia to New York, and they know exactly where to find his son. You know what movie pissed me off? And it's just bad. It's not fun bad. Was it 2000? No, 2012. Is that the John Cusack movie?
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh God. It's your typical thing like this, Polly, where he's constantly getting out of trouble, but nobody ever dies. All the things they set up, by the end of that movie, I'm just like, well, somebody kill him already. He keeps just barely surviving everything. Let's just kill him already. And that should never be how your main character is seen. Because even in Day After Tomorrow, I'm like, I want Dennis Quaid to beat global warming. Oh God, Deep Impact was awful. Deep Impact was, but the flood scene in that, when the flood comes up, is amazing. I love watching that. That part that actually scared me the first time I saw it. If you've ever been in the ocean, a giant wave will make you go fuck. But that one is like, I wouldn't even know what to do there.
It's brown trouser time. That's what time it is.
Plus that scene, it pulls one of those father-daughter moments that just always breaks my heart now that I'm a dad. At the end where her and her dad are on the beach because she gave up her seat for that child. And he comes to talk to her and they hug and she says, "Daddy." I'm like, no, please save them.
And that's how Rogue One ended.
Yeah, it was I still like that movie. It's another bad one that I like. Now, if anybody says bad shit about Armageddon, we're gonna fight because that movie's awesome. Speaking of Steve Buscemi, I love him in that movie. He's funny as shit.
I've got this picture up that I wanted to show you guys, and I got to show you now because I want to get it the fuck off my screen. Far gave me this picture, or showed me this picture, and I had to grab a copy because I haven't added anything to my tacky folder in a while. I love collecting kitsch tacky things, and this is
real quick. Asian hippie says, "Got to go to work. Have a good day, bud. I hope it's a quick, easy day at work."
All right. Later, Asian hippie.
What in the actual fuck is that?
It's Justin Trudeau on horseback with space behind him.
Oh, I thought that was the dude from Independence Day. You're right.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Paxton.
It does.
No, it's Justin Trudeau looking smug as fuck on horseback, riding in through space.
Oh, I want that for a Christmas sweater.
I thought that was No, not Bill Paxton. Fuck, what's his name? Lone Star.
Lone Star.
The lead from Independence
To the
Day.
IMDb.
The
The
lead
president.
from Independence Day. Oh, Bill Pullman.
Pullman,
Bill
that's
Pullman.
it, yes.
That's what I
Not
was
Paxton.
thinking of. I get them mixed up a lot. The Bill Paxton Collective is one of the greatest stories in human history. If you're unaware, if you look at Bill Paxton in any movie, he's basically the same character.
Yes.
Because he's so monotone. It's not because he's like Will Smith, who's always Will Smith. No, Bill Paxton thinks he's playing somebody else, but he has the most deadpan delivery on earth.
Thought he was playing somebody else.
Yes.
Look, there's a waterfall behind him. I didn't even notice that.
Oh dear God.
There's a
that
waterfall.
thing is horrifying.
And it's like green sloping mountains. I didn't realize until I magnified in. It's like there's the moon.
Somewhere somebody's mom just bought them this and they're like, you're gonna wear it to school tomorrow, right?
How did they not put a horn on this so it could be a unicorn? I mean, he needs to be riding a unicorn.
Peter says, oh man, I was just saying I'm disillusioned with the human race, and that pic popped up and solidified it for me.
You're welcome.
No, what's great about Bill Paxton is if you watch him in something like, say, what was it, Twister? You watch him in that where he's, playing serious and everything, and then go watch Weird Science when he gets turned into a big ball of shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking, yeah, he's the same guy. It's just different. Keanu Reeves thinks he's acting. He does. And Keanu's got onto this thing that a lot of people do. A lot of singers do this now too, where if they're going to be dramatic, they just talk really low. That's dramatic acting. Just talk really low. And if you want to sing a dramatic song, you just sing it really low. Like that's not acting. That's not singing. That's not projecting anything except for you're in a house where you're trying not to wake up your mom. You'll notice even as loud as John Wick is, Keanu Reeves is not.
I just assumed he had laryngitis through the entire filming process.
There's a lot of actors who think whispering is acting.
I blame Bruce Willis for that.
I can see that. I blame Top Gun. I'm just blaming Top Gun for everything today.
Let's just roll with that. Yeah.
Top Gun is why Polly doesn't rank Tombstone #1.
No shit, Polly. That's just wrong. And yes, you know what? Next time we have this conversation, you're gonna say we have this conversation twice, and be like, yes, and I'm still mad. I still do not accept that. My brain won't let me.
But you didn't go watch Wyatt Earp like you said you were going to do.
Well, I haven't gone and watched anything. I was explaining this earlier. It's been very hard for me to watch anything, dude. The only thing I've watched, what movie was that? It was I watched the not Kiss movie, Motley Crue movie, and I watched what's it called? The one about Bonnie and Clyde, Jack?
Highwaymen,
and both of those have just been
about that movie. Shit.
Those are both just because I was at my desk and I was doing something else, and it's like I'm going to throw Netflix on, and they came up, so I didn't actually search those out. But if you guys haven't seen Highwaymen, that's actually a really good movie. It's a little forced. It goes a little too fast, but otherwise, yes, it's a good movie. And the interactions between Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner as these old, worn out men are fucking amazing. They both play really old men really well.
Both really old men.
Well, usually, I mean, even at their age, I mean, they would still be playing, romantic leads and stuff. I mean, how old is Sean Connery now?
Like a million? I don't know.
That man should be playing somebody's dad in a bed about to die. They're both really old, worn out men. Yeah, I mean, but I was surprised by Harrelson, actually. Costner, I was like, okay, yeah, but Harrelson, I was like, wow, that is Woody Harrelson. I'm sorry to say it, can act. But yeah, very good movie, and I really liked the Motley Crue movie. That was fun.
I only saw a little bit of that. I was over at somebody else's house. We were watching like 10 minutes of it. It looked pretty good, but that Ozzy Osbourne scene was a little much.
Oh. And that's actually a true story.
Yeah, that's why it's a little bit much.
And yeah, Ozzy Osbourne drinking pee off the ground.
Spoiler alert.
Well, that's actually, I mean, that story's been in the media for decades.
Yeah, it's still gross.
It is. It really is. But I actually mostly watched it for the music. So many of those rockumentary things are boring as fuck, but the music is great. So, like I said, I put it on off to the side while I was doing something else, and I ended up like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So I watched. Polly, you are charming and debonair, except
Well,
when it
thank
comes
you.
to
Yeah, show off.
oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Did you guys see the video of the Easter Bunny beating somebody down?
Yeah, that was great. I tweeted that out this afternoon. Oh, it was great.
Oh God, I'm gonna find it on your timeline, Jack, and put it in the chat here because oh my God, it's Florida, man.
Yeah, it's Florida Bunny, man. You can't
Florida
go
Bunny.
wrong.
These Easter worshippers, went nuts. There's the story. Yeah, the Easter Bunny just goes ham on somebody. It was disturbing to watch, man.
When I
But
first,
it was kind of fun.
when I stumbled across that article, I thought for sure it was going to be Andy Worski in there.
That would have been awesome. No,
Yeah.
I actually didn't see the story. The video itself was just floating around, and I meant to save it, and I never did. Sam Elliott too. Oh, look, Sam Elliott's just one of those guys. You look at him like, I'm a bitch.
Yeah,
I don't know. That man just exudes man.
yeah, that man was born too late to be the Western star he deserved to be.
Yes, and he is the best part of Roadhouse.
He's the best part of most movies that he's in.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Some people just never caught the break they deserved, and I seriously think he is one of them.
Yeah, I saw him first in Fatal Beauty with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, wow.
Have I ever watched Silverado? No. But yeah, I liked him in that, and then I saw him in Roadhouse. I'm like, I'm never gonna be as man as he is, and I'm a manly man, y'all. I'm hairy as fuck. I'm big and beautiful, but yeah, I will never be as man as Sam Elliott. Oh man, I like the movie Talk. Oh,
Everybody does.
what do y'all think of Jumping Jack Flash?
I don't like Whoopi Goldberg. I thought that movie was dumb.
I
Sister,
don't like. I'm not a big fan of Whoopi, her acting, but I love Jumping Jack Flash. It's a dumb movie from the '80s, guys.
That's Far's favorite film.
It's dumb, but I fucking love it. So many movies are dumb, but I love them. You're about to say Sister Act. Did you like that?
Sister Act was better than Jumpin' Jack Flash. I'm sorry.
No. No. My favorite part of Jumping Jack Flash, guys, she's having a conversation with somebody through a bank online system. And there's one point where she turns away from the computer because she's mad at him. And he's typing in whatever her fucking name is. And she's like, no, she's actually answering the words on the screen. We get to hear it because they're letting us hear it instead of have to read it. But they actually conflate her being able to hear it. I'm like, that don't make no damn sense. And then you see him at the end and he's a dork. I fucking love that. He was so British. Lightsaber dueling. We talked about the lightsaber dueling earlier. I'm not gonna lie, that was to take advantage of somebody else's video. Because one, it made me go, what? And two, it was an old ass story, and I'm actually gonna have to watch his video to figure out why the fuck he's talking about it now.
Because he's a shilling whore. That's why.
Stargazer nuts. Sam Elliott's the only guy my wife would cheat on me with. Yeah, my wife was always the Sean Connery. She likes Sean a lot. My wife has weird taste. She really likes Sean Connery, and Evander Holyfield.
Huh.
Those aren't even close to like each other.
Yeah.
Posh old Scottish man and big ass black boxer. But hey, we can't help what we like. Is Jordan up? Did we get any pictures today?
Oh yeah.
I have to check the hashtag. Oh, that was the last one I saw. I mean, those are still nice, but I'm not.
No, they're used up because I've already looked at them and had my male gaze touch them.
We don't. Ass Crack team, where's the new asses in MITAM? Look, my misspeaking has become what they are. Oh man. I'm just looking at chat real quick to see what's going on. And you know what? I think we will check out the hashtag. I don't even know how long I've been going. I woke up this morning, got myself some pills, and shit, I didn't eat. Fuck. Well, that's going to haunt me in a little bit.
I do that sometimes. Forget to eat. It happens.
I do that to the point where I lose weight, probably.
Yeah.
That's not good. Just throwing that out there.
I'm just saying, I have to remind myself to eat. I really do, because I've said this before. The medicine they have me on, I cannot feel my stomach. I don't get hungry. I don't get full. The only way I can tell I haven't eaten in a while, I can feel that my stomach is growling. But there was one time when they changed my pills for just a little bit, and it changed that back to where I could actually feel my stomach. And I'm like, what the fuck? I feel awful. And I realized I was hungry. I was like, oh, well, shit. Necrosol says, I send the good stuff to DMs. Well, I appreciate that, but we like to share the beautiful women's. So we're kind of like the man show, but funny.
And doubtful we'll be recanting here later because we've gotten woke.
Remind me, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, send pretty beautiful covered women. They have to be, we can't see vag or nipples, because then we can't show them if they're really good. Because if we do, I have to erase the stream.
On a quick little side note, so you guys know, as I've said, Chad as well, that I've been watching Super Friends because because I need more comedy in my life, man. You know, you get black-pilled watching too many YouTube videos when, it's hanging out at camps all day. And then
don't fight the black pill, Polly. It's delicious. It's not licorice.
No, it can get you down and stuff.
Like happiness.
So it's like, watch something that's just purely entertaining. That's when Looney Tunes is great. It's just something that's just awesome and fun and so on. So anyway, I'm going through my my Super Friends collection, and the 1978 one is Challenge of the Super Friends, and it's got 3 featurettes, 2 commentaries, whatever. You know who's doing one of the motherfucking commentaries, Jack? Fucking Mark Wade.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
It's Jeff Johns and Mark Wade. And when it's like, hi, everybody, my name is Jeff Johns, and I'm an editor at DC Comics and have worked on issues such as, and all of a sudden here, hi, and I'm Mark Wade, and I wish I knew where my nuts were. Like, it's a fucking guy. It's,
he was pulling all the trim back in the day. Just throwing that out there.
That guy has just turned out to be like, the quintessential anti-comic skater, because he has a lot of power and a lot of authority, in the sense, because he's been in comics for a long, long time, and he decides to be a super social justice warrior who's only going to punch up against people that are, oh God, all the things. Everyone's a Nazi, everyone's an Islamophobe, everybody hates trans people except for him, only POCs. He's the only one who's willing to stand up and fight for POCs, and
Richard Meyer made a good comment in one of his videos where he said, I had a nightmare the other day. And I realized it after I woke up that I thought for some reason a guy who wrote a Batman comic that I liked 30 years ago is suing. I'm suing him.
Yeah.
Then I realized it was true. It was fucking hilarious.
Real quick, Necrosol was kind enough to drop us a pretty lady over on MITAM. That's the hashtag you guys can send us stuff to. Jack, I think you'll like this one. That's a pretty little puppy. What is with the? Is she moist? There's a little dot down there. Anyway, Or does she need
Damn monkey.
what? Look, I'm not gonna lie. When I see a picture of a woman in any kind of anywhere, the first thing my eyes go to is her crotch. I can't help it. You know why? That's my favorite part. I'd like to tell you guys that my favorite part of a woman is their brain. An intellectual woman really turns me on. Like, I've never had a woman give me an orgasm talking to me about science. You know where you get that from? The vagina. Sean says you really need to check out Bear's white tax video when the stream is over. Might get you to actually make a video. One, don't yell at me. No, it's a Bear video. Of course, I'm going to watch it, and everybody else should too. That's Irate Bear. Watch his stuff because we love the Bear. Make sure to show some hot men for the ladies. Ebony, honey. No.
Sounded like you were going to make a point there, but
that is my point. No.
You can make your own hashtag and put whatever degenerate sexist crap you want on there.
Yeah.
This one belongs to One Direction and Monkey.
Yeah, this isn't me. This is One Direction. That's the great thing about this. If like the press ever comes calling, like that ain't me. That's One Direction. They do that shit.
Obviously, they're real into these scantily clad women. I don't know what's going on.
That's their fans. Damn it. Evil One. Yeah, there are no hot men. Look, there's actually beautiful men out there. Pat, for instance, Pat is a beautiful man. But as Jack so brilliantly pointed out, get your own damn hashtag. Or Polly, I forget which one of you said that. Actually, hang on just a second. Can you guys? I need to refill my drink. How long have we been going?
I don't know.
Like 2 hours now. So yeah, my drink's empty. I got to get some more. And give me like 2 minutes, guys. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Jack.
Yeah.
Polly's in charge.
Oh, that's what he claims.
No, just
take the power from the man.
I cede my authority to you, Jack. You're in charge.
Good. We're redistributing that authority because you can't be trusted with it.
You know what?
We could go through my black velvet painting collection.
Ooh,
Monkey
real
didn't
quick.
screen me, so
I was still listening. I hadn't taken off my headphones yet, and I made a mistake there. You're right, Polly. Your judgment can't be trusted because of Tombstone. Jack, you're in charge.
All right, I win again.
Because of something you didn't have anything to do with, but fucking up is how I win.
That's usually how I win. I call it the Indiana Jones effect.
That's how Democrats win in a lot of their ridings, and I'm
like AOC. I just got my name on the ballot and won.
So, speaking of ridings, I've been looking into how MEPs are elected in Britain.
Okay.
Their congressional districts are ridings, and I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, it seems to be really complicated, so I gave up caring after about 30 minutes.
Going off like to try and get like the straight dope on it, not from a news source, but like from an explanatory source. Jesus, it gets complicated fast. Like, they kind of are elected. You do run. There's absolutely a candidacy for a member of the European Parliament, but then it's a nomination process where it seems like you can very much not get, like, so let's say you're running in like the 20th electoral district of or congressional district of Arizona. If you win, you've won. It's not up to your party or your state governor or senator or whoever the hell to tell you that you didn't win. But it seems that it can be that way with members of the European Parliament. And I'm like, okay, this is removing the whole democracy thing. And I'm starting to understand why the Brits are so angry in terms of unelected people telling them what to do from Brussels.
They should be used to it from their own people. I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm having a lot of fun with the watching Sargon's candidacy. He's doing the whole Steven Crowder change my mind thing.
I was watching some of that, and man, some of those people just they're not listening to a word he says. They're just arguing to be argumentative.
Right. Like the first one that he posted, that woman, I have no idea what to call you, dear, other than a harpy, because you're harping on him. And he answers your question, then you just go, well, but why that particular statement? For those of you in chat who didn't watch, yeah, Sargon just set up a table, chair, microphones, cameras, all real small scale, and we're gonna have one-on-one conversations with people who either want to ask me questions or don't know what my platform is and want me to explain it, and I'd be happy to discuss it. He's out there.
When he apologized to her for offending her, she could not accept it.
Wasn't that to me, the wildest moment in the whole thing was, well, why aren't you apologizing to her? And I said, but what would it matter? And it's like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you didn't accept my apology. And you see this moment where she's like, oh yeah.
She was almost there. Like you could just see the gears turning, but she just couldn't get past her narrative.
Yep.
And that's just why I don't even bother trying to talk to people anymore. You disagree with me? Cool. I'm going to accept that and move on with my day. I'm not going to try and convince you anymore because it's just not worth my time.
It's worthwhile to watch Crowder's videos of it to see when it's worth calling it quits. And I think Sargon should have called it quits a little bit earlier with her.
Yeah. She was.
It's like, we discussed it. We went over it. We're kind of running in circles now. I understand where you're coming from. You don't want to accept my apology, and you're not terribly interested in my thoughts on.
And you're kind of a bitch.
Yeah. And cultural Marxism, whatever. I'm constantly going to say, okay, can I talk? Can I talk? She spent at least 2/3 of the time talking over him,
What was this?
Sargon's recent videos that he's put out where he's talking to people Crowder style at the table.
Oh, I saw those. I didn't watch any of them. I saw the they're in my subscription box. Real quick, if you guys haven't seen it, over on the hashtag, Sarah put a nice picture. I'm not usually a fan of tattoos, but I really, really like the one on there. You said it was, so he was arguing with something. You think he just went too long?
No, I think the chick was just. He put up with more than I would have, but I have a low tolerance for dumb.
Yeah, Dog Backwards says she was lost in rhetoric. Yeah, in a very real way. It's like, I think you're a sexist. I think you're this. And it's like, what you had the opportunity when the mics were on you and you had the podium to expatiate your platform. And he's like, but I don't need to. I've got my YouTube channel. I don't need them. That's why I'm not, meaning them, the press. So I'm not going to apologize to them. They're not a moral authority. I don't see why I should be asking for their forgiveness. And it's like, well, it's not their forgiveness. It's like, well, because they wouldn't accept it. Well, why not? Well, you didn't.
Yeah, look, I don't need anyone's permission to speak. It's a different mindset over there. I think since they don't have a First Amendment, they're not used to testing those boundaries a lot.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about like your position that we've talked about like a number of times, Monkey, when it comes to Carl there. He it's like, the kind of thing that you hold against him, and it's like, I don't think Monkey should ever let that go. Like, in the sense of like, forgive but not forget, that sense of it, like, hold his feet to the fire on that, but this guy unarguably has come out swinging both fists. He's in there talking about, like, we need to go ahead with Brexit. We need to fucking leave already. We need freedom of speech. We have literal thought police going around in Britain now. Mass immigration has gone insane. British rights are being eroded for the sake of ideology. And these are the things that I stand against. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, you're coming out swinging both fists. This is fucking awesome. But
with Sargon, you'll know, we only talk about him like once in a blue moon. Mm-hmm. And I still hold that against him a lot, but it's not something that like I preach about every time he's in the news or something. If he ever does something like that again, I will pounce like a motherfucker.
Like a Republican.
Yes, I will. I will be like a SJW on a rice cake. But I'm in the wait and see mode. I mean, everybody can make a mistake. Everybody can overreact sometimes. And I really do want to talk about that. Don't forget to remind me. But you're right. It's not, if he did it all the time, if this was a constant thing, you better believe his name would be coming out of my mouth all the time.
Yeah. What I mean by that is like how many people are willing to put themselves out there like that. Sargon is not comfortable with debating, but he's doing the thing for his campaign now. Like we need to leave Britain. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to go set up a table and I'm going to have this thing I'm not comfortable with doing. And I'm going to try my best to argue through it. And no, he's not as good at it as Crowder, but he defended his position well and argued confidently for his spots. I mean, over the past week, Sargon's done his thing, but I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, can't really forget about the times he's fell short, but I don't really think that it should be held against him in such a way. Just like you say, like bring it up all the time isn't useful, but remember it when he fell off to kind of like hold his feet to that fire. That makes sense to me. I get that.
Yeah, I've been watching that 1 minute video of him addressing the press when he was given the mic for a second there. That was fucking beautiful. He's got there. I'm none to say to you guys, you're assholes. I mean, you don't even care to see what I think.
For me, so far, that's the quote of the year. I'm not apologizing to you, you dirty, dirty smear merchants.
Yes.
Get bent.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
You're fucking.
Get bent is one of my favorite insults, and he used it. I'm like, there we go. What were you about to say there, Jack?
No, I just was agreeing. He's not wrong. They have been very uncharitable to him in the media. So why would you apologize to them?
Uncharitable is an understatement.
Yeah,
they have just been dragging him, and again, like he said, not a word about what he actually believes. It's all been he threatened to rape somebody, which he did not do.
He threatened to not rape someone.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why all these people are trying to get him to rape people.
I know. And they seem obsessed with him going out there and raping somebody. Like he doesn't want to.
And he had to bring up the context yet again. Why would you ever even say something? To get her attention, specifically because she was laughing at another member of parliament when he brought up male suicide. She found that, Jess Phillips, found that funny and laughed right in his face about it. Yep. And the woman he was talking to said, well, I have to see, I don't know that he did that. I'd have to take your or I don't know she did that. I'd have to take your word. She goes, the evidence is there. The recording is there. You can go to my channel and see it, or go to another source to see it. It's not something we made up. She actually finds the idea of government worrying about male suicide, which is predominantly huge. Suicide is much larger in the male demographic. And she actually found that a laughable notion that they should even be bothering to care about such things.
No, and it's about dead men.
Because she sitting on the gender equality committee, and it's like, here's something that's dramatically unequal. Well, let's just say what it is. It's not gender equality, advancement of women, or placement of women. It's the advancement of women committee, which was sort of Carl's point back in the day when this first happened, like 3 years ago. She refused to believe, except on the face of it, that it even happened. She kept saying, I would have to see that. I don't know that happened. I'd have to see the evidence. I can only take you at your word. And I just find that hard to believe, etc. And it's
I think what Polly's saying here is we need more women to commit suicide. So we need a government program to encourage women to kill themselves.
Yeah, Sargon needs to rape them first.
Yes. Well, that might be why they're killing themselves. I don't know.
Like Peter has been saying that, like, Peter says, he still thinks he's a pretentious cockhead, and that it's like, I was over him a year and a half ago. Hey, fine, that's cool. Not everybody digs Sargon. Pop-Tart feels that way. She says she's boiled it down to pretty much the accent, his particular accent. She goes, I just can't sit there and listen to somebody talk with that. It feels like they're talking down to me. That's not uncommon, and that's her opinion, and that's cool.
So, I really the British. Cool.
I really don't think that he is. I don't know what we can't disagree on that. I don't think Peter would find it, or Pop-Tart, because we've talked about it a number of times. It's like, I dig Sargon's content, but this is not about his content. This is about him showing and proving and doing the thing in the real world. This is something else. It's like, damn. I still think he's going to lose, but he's shown mettle that I didn't think he had. I didn't think that he had the balls to pull this off. But holy fuck, I was wrong.
Well, I'm sure he realizes that his chances of winning are pretty much non-existent. But I'm surprised he went this far.
Hang on a second, guys. I'm texting my wife here. Somebody's making me a tile with my monkey on it. They're doing it out of... Satsu pointed him out the other day, and the game chat. He does laser forging.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was listening when you were talking about that. It going ahead and doing it for you. That's cool.
Yeah. And so I will have that soon, and my wife's going to be picking up for me. I had to let her know that's a go. I'm getting excited because I can see it and it looks cool. He's sending me update pictures. Anyway, I want to change the subject. Sorry, but I want to make sure I talk about this. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you so much. Women attempt more suicide, but men commit more suicide, aka men are better at it. Patriarchy. The attempt rates are very similar. Women might have a little edge, but yeah, men are sadly much better at it. Men get shit done. But Memory Holiday, she posted a video yesterday, I think it was. She actually posted 2, and they go together. It's just because it was too long. But she's explaining, one, guys, I'm not going to drag. Why do I keep saying this? I heard it the other day, and I can't stop. I'm not going to be ripping on Memory because I'm not going to argue with what she said. But there's a point I want to make. And what she said is that she erased 50,000 tweets. Yeah, from the past. And that she did that because at the time, going back 2016 and 17, she says she's in a dark place. Okay. I'm taking, like I said, I'm taking her word for it. I'm not going to argue, but she says she erased them because it's not who she really is. And she doesn't want, people coming to look for her and being like, oh, this is who she's a mean bitch. And she doesn't want people thinking she's, a mean bitch, which is fine. That's fine. But it did make me think of this. And with the whole, I'm using the air quotes, skeptic community, I do know a lot of people who jumped on the skeptic bandwagon because it was popular. And who have now gone back and had to erase a whole bunch of stuff they did for basically the same. I don't want, that's not who I am. That's not what I did. The only time I erase stuff is 1, if there's an accident, or 2, if we have vagina show up. Because I am who I am. So if you're going to do something like this, if you're going to do YouTube or anything like that, only do stuff that's actually you. And then you don't have to apologize for shit. Like Sargon, no matter what you think of the guy, it's not like he's changed drastically. I mean, what he says, he believes in what he says. And I can at least give him credit for that. But these people, I mean, if you're just doing it to jump on the bandwagon, don't. Be yourself, for fuck's sake. That way you can be proud of what you are. That way, if you're being mean to somebody, you're like, yeah, I didn't like that motherfucker. I just can't imagine erasing 2 years of my history because I'm worried people will think that's who I am. Well, that is who you are. I mean, if you're being fair, that is who you are. That's who you were. You wrote it. It came from you.
Unless you were lying the whole time.
Be yourself. That way you can be proud unless you're vegan gains or Onision. Look, well, even then, for what it's worth, at least I think they're being true to themselves. They might be assholes, but that's who they are.
Hey, Monkey, I'm just curious as a quick little comparison. You've always got the Twitter machine open, right?
Yeah.
How many tweets do you have total?
Hang on. I got it open, but I'm not on that screen. So give me a second.
Sure.
Total 25,000, 25.3K.
I got 1,400 because I don't tweet that much. It's like it's an interesting thing. Like when you, like, if I were saying like I deleted my tweets for the last, like, everything from 6 months before now and back, I deleted, like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal in the end,
deleting like the comic curation stream.
Well, yeah, it'd be like links to comic book curation and the occasional comment that I make or retweet that I do or something like that. People have started pressuring me. You got to be more active on Twitter, but that's getting, and I guess I could be, I don't know, 280 character culture just kind of bugs me sometimes. Anyway, sorry, Monkey, you were saying.
Well, no, that actually is a good thing. I do think you need to be a little bit more. You don't have to be as prolific as me. Guys, I'm a cripple who sits at his desk or lays in his bed. There's not a lot I can do. So Twitter is my playground. But yeah, I mean, especially to help your channel, because you have a good channel and people need to see that. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit more. But if you do that, don't put anything in there you don't actually fucking believe. You know what I mean? This is, oh God. I've talked before at length about people like Phil DeFranco and Jimmy Kimmel, how they try to deny their past, or at least not deny it, but
bury it.
Well, kind of, to separate themselves from it. But in Philly D's defense, all of his old shit is still up. You can see what happened the whole time. You can watch it from the beginning. You can go back and watch his titty videos. He didn't bury it. I mean, he's trying to be like, that's not who I am. I apologize for that. Okay, you're fuck off. If you're so ashamed of it, why don't you close down completely, start a new channel under a different name where nobody knows you, and build up from there. You are still benefiting from your booby streams or your booby videos. Let's be honest about it. Same with Jimmy Kimmel. If he didn't come up the way he did, he wouldn't be on whatever fucking show he hosts now. Because nobody know who the fuck he is. But he likes to talk. Oh, well, you know, I'm a woman now. Oh, sorry, I'm a male feminist or whatever the fuck he is.
Same thing. So he's a rapist.
But at least their history's out there, you know.
Yeah.
And so I do give him. I give him a little bit of credit for that.
Yeah, but if you don't leave it up and you take it down, and it comes off like you're hiding something, or that you were lying about who you were to us for years. That's always the impression I get.
Sure. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, but the idea that Mem's deleting her tweets because that's not who she is. Well, it is. Whether it's because you were upset at the time or you were lying to your audience or whatever it was, that is part of you. That is part of you. And so you can be like, okay, I apologize for all of it. And I guess I understand getting rid of it. Because I mean, look at Sargon right now. He's getting all this shit for what? That's 2 years old?
Almost
2.5
years.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you ever do anything bigger, yeah, I'm fucked if I ever somehow end up in a newspaper and become relevant, because they're going to go through these and go, holy fuck, this guy. And I'll be like, yep, I said it. Fuck you.
That's one of the nice things about being me, is that all my friends know I'm exactly like this. So they'll be like, oh yeah, that's exactly how that idiot sounds.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before. Lady Monkey, we brought her on stream, and people have asked her, like, is Monkey like this in real life? And she's actually like, he's a little bit worse. And it's true. I tone it down just a little bit for this, because there's words you can't say on here without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
That I'm more likely to let fly. And no, I'm not talking about the N word. I might say fag a little bit more in real life.
Yeah, I swear a lot more in real life.
Or say that's gay in real life, because, oh, dude, I swear just as much as I do here. But again, the reason I use those is not because it's not anti-homophobic, or it's not anti-homophobic. It's not homophobic. When we grew up, that was just an insult you called people. And it had nothing to do with sucking dick. They killed it. They ruined it. They took a perfectly good insult and ruined it, you guys.
Well, that seems to be a thing now, is ruining everything that's fun.
Yeah. I still think the South Park is, I think American children should be forced to watch South Park. Instead of it being, this is for grown-ups, I think they should be forced to watch it. I think it would help them out.
People might take themselves a little less seriously if they did that. Everything super serial all the time.
Yeah, I'm super serial. The fag episode of South Park, the biker one. Just so you know, everybody thinks you're a bunch of faggots. I fucking died. And they're all worried, like, why are they calling us this? It was such a great episode that I think so many people, if they watched it and took the fucking message, they would understand. It makes me happy when I see SJWs talking about how great South Park is. I'm like, You do realize like 90% of it's making fun of you, right?
I don't think they do realize that
I
because
know
they're
they don't.
kind of dumb.
Oh man. But yeah, be yourself. And look, if you did something bad in your past, man, that's still part of you.
Everybody does something that they regret doing at some point, whether they admit to it or not.
Look, I've apologized to people online. It might have been, I think it was an argument with Sophane. I did it once. I've done it with a couple of other people where I get a little too heated. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I went overboard. I read more into it than I should have. I apologize. But I leave everything up, like, because that's part of me. Sometimes I might go a little too far. Am I mean sometimes? Yep.
That's true of everybody, though. I mean, you're going to go too far at some point because passions get inflamed, or you just really don't like that person, or whatever. Somebody gets under your skin. You say something in the heat of the moment you regret.
Well, the times it usually happens to me, it's because I make assumptions, assumptions about what they think or what they're meaning when they make the post. I actually became friends with this really liberal chick because she made a post about oh God, I forget what Trump was going to spend money on, but she was really mad about it, and so that money could go to veterans, and I'm like, you're just doing this because you hate Trump. And I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Her entire timeline is nothing but support for veterans. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I messed up there. I apologize. You're right. I still disagree with you about the point you were making. But yeah, I assumed you were just a Trump hater. And yeah, that was my bad. And yeah, we've actually got to be pretty decent friends. And those I'm not ashamed of that argument. I mean, yeah, I was a dick. Oops. But the whole "that's not who I am" thing, that's, I think, what bothers me the most. How can you say 2 years of your life is not who you are?
Well, you're either denying who you are, or you're a professional liar and you got caught. I tend to be very negative about these things, though. So,
well, so do I, and that's kind of why I was bringing it up. There's two real points there. Be who you are. Don't do it to try to fit in. And if there's any kids out there in school right now, let me tell you,
you should be listening to your teachers right now.
No, fuck them. Ignore them for a minute, because this is much more important. You do not have to fit in. You don't. And I know when you're in school and stuff, it feels like you do. You have to have friends. So maybe you pick up that joint and you smoke it. You know what? I never smoked a joint in high school, not once. I didn't have any alcohol in high school, none. I was offered it all the time. You know what I said? No, thanks. Nobody got mad at me. They're like, okay, cool. I never tried to fit in. That was actually my rebellious stage. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I don't give a fuck if you like me. And it was amazing how many people liked me for that. And you don't have to fit in. And that goes for if on YouTube. If you're just trying to get popular and you want to just fit in with the cool kids, don't do that. The cool kids, a lot of times you'll find out, are assholes. They are assholes who don't even believe what they're saying. So yeah, don't try to fit in. Be you. Be you and enjoy it.
Don't try and fit in just so you'll get invited to Kilroy so you can hang out with the cool kids like Monday and Matt.
Oh, dude, I'd go to Kilroy, man. Did you see the fucking accommodations there? I'd go to Kilroy and give a speech to 3 people if I could go hang out in a hot tub for 2 days.
Right? I kind of wanted to go to Kilroy just because I knew it was going to be such a total shit show that it would be fun for me, because I do enjoy a good shit show.
Dude, one of the reasons I've thought about outing myself of who I am is because I want to get invited to some of these things, man. I want somebody to pay me and my cripple ass to fly across the country and go hang out in a hotel for a couple of days in the pool and just have to go give my opinion to somebody that they could get for fucking free listening to me on the internet.
It's a good point.
Checky Logic says, I'm not trying to get popular. I just post videos about ramblings of my opinions. However, I had a friend who got really popular on there. I felt out of place around her since. Why? Why? I mean, did she change it all? I mean,
sometimes that is the case, though.
Sure. One of my greatest goals in life, my biggest goals in life, and this might sound weird to you, it's to make Satsu popular. I want to make him not just popular, but very successful.
Yeah, he should be. He earns it. I mean, he's doing all this work. His cooking channel is really cool, by the way.
It is, man. And like I said last night on the show, Lady Monkey's addicted to that shit. She's like, we got to try that. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm willing. Let's do it. But no, I was talking to him about it yesterday, and I'm not going to tell you his side of the conversation, but I'm like, I want good things for you, and I know you can get there. He's such a pessimist, though.
Yeah, that's what I like about him.
No, he needs the optimism I have. I have no reason to be optimistic, but I'm like, I will take this world if I have to. Peter says, road to 10,000. That's right, motherfucker. Road to 10,000 over there on 2 cents plus. But I think his cooking channel, I mean, he does a very good job with it, and especially being new to it. I mean, usually when you're new to any kind of video, what's the word I'm looking for? Genre, you're going to be awkward and weird. And he just comes off like Satsu, which is really great. It certainly feels like she did change. In fact, I say she changed more in 1 year than live action sitcoms have in 7. Well, I mean, that kind of stuff can happen, but I see so many people. If you watch, what's that chick's name? The one who just freaked out recently.
Oh, the Instagram whore.
Yeah, her whole life is about being popular. She's she measures everything by how many followers you have. She's almost like a fucking character in a movie. Like I can't talk to you if you don't have enough followers. Influence chaser.
Yeah, shallow. Well, those are the like high school girls that were always like, "Oh my god, you're so not popular enough."
Right, and those are the kind of people you do not need their attention. Fuck them.
Yeah, you don't need people like that in your life. They're negative people.
Yep. If you remember when I said I had a better time telling you about VidCon than I actually did at VidCon, well, that's the reason. Oh, sorry to hear that, dude. I still want to go to VidCon. When I was talking to you just a moment ago, I want them to fly me around the country. I don't know if my body can take an airplane, but I still want to go. I want to go and I want to meet people. I want to go and not tell anybody I'm there and just try to enjoy it that way.
I want to go just to point randomly in the direction, be like, "Is that Jake Paul?" See what happens.
Go up and ask some Instagram model with 50,000 subscribers if she's Jake Paul.
I'm going to ask every hot chick for the phone number because I will look like the creepy dude because I'm all old and whatnot now, and just be like, "Hey, you want to party later? You and I could have a really good time."
You know, it's getting to be that time. Everybody's throwing out their GoFundMe's to get themselves to VidCon. Me and Jack need to get to VidCon. I think we could have fun there.
Yeah, we'll bring Polly. He'll be the like normal person.
I like that Polly's our normie.
Right? He's
I don't.
You're the Abbott to our Costello. What are you talking about? That should probably worry Polly quite a bit.
I'd prefer to think of myself as the Dean Martin to your Lewis. Yeah.
Oh, dude, are you calling me retarded?
No, I just like the idea of being Dean Martin more than Abbott. That's all.
Because of the smoking jacket.
That's right. And hitting the crooning tones and so forth.
You know why this happened, right, Polly?
Why? What happened?
Why you're the normie of the group?
Because I take opposition to your depraved comments. Tombstone. Oh, that's that was the turning point where I was identified as the weirdo or the non-weirdo. No, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. If I'm the straight guy and the level-headed guy,
yeah,
then that means my opinion is the straight level-headed one, and yours is the crazy one, the guy who likes Tombstone, the crazy thinking.
But crazy is more fun, man.
You're crazy and lovable, see?
You're like dad.
You're older than I am, but
I
like,
know.
like more than a decade. What the
You're
fuck?
overthinking this analogy, Polly.
I was just scrolling through Twitter, which I've promised myself not to do too often. And okay, you want to talk about 280 character culture? Let's and why I don't spend a lot of time on here because it's going to make me angry. Here, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Parker Malloy sounds off. For those who don't know, Parker Malloy is a glorified blogger that everyone cares what they think because they, that's right, they are a trans rights activist. So, you know, get your shit straight. What an absurd, utterly stupid non-controversy. Quote, they didn't say the special word that I wanted. Chill, guys. They said that because they're referring to people at an Easter service. It really goes without saying people attending Easter services are Christians. Now, the thing that's funny about this is, they didn't say the special word that I wanted. Just click over to another Parker Malloy. Not sure how to refer to trans people when speaking about them in the past? Here's a guide.
For the special words that I wanted.
For the special words that I demand that you use.
Polly, now see, this is why you need the little clipping tool. So you can clip those together and be like, I don't know what would you put at the top of that? Like, apparently it does matter or something like that. Or when words matter. See, this is when you fuck with somebody.
I mean, I guess it's an unwinnable thing, but I just can't stand the 280 character back and forth because it's like, clearly you do care about special little words. Yeah, but those are about people, blah, 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 as compared to the over 280 people that were killed that you're not willing to refer to by what you called a quote special word that anyone else would have obviously picked. They weren't targeted because they were Sri Lankan. They weren't targeted because they happened to be at this given place on a given day. It's because of why they were there and what that represented. They're a targeted, attacked minority religion. And you seem to have a lot of beef with that, Parker Malloy, as long as those people aren't Christians, and then you don't care. You see what I mean? Oh, it's Muslims being attacked. Oh my God, white supremacy. Like it.
Oh yeah, I get you. Well, again, I mean, the idea that, oh my God, they didn't say the right word. I mean, come on. In today's day, really?
Yeah. That bugs me because how are you supposed to have an argument with somebody? Like when this happens generally, how are you supposed to have an argument with somebody when they, through their own words and actions, reveal that they have no principles? The arguments that they make that are supposedly principle based are actually just arguments of convenience to get you to do what they want. That if you can't apply a principle broadly, it's not a principle. That's the defining quality of a principle, that it can be applied broadly.
That's their whole point, is that you can't disagree with them then. And then they always win because they deserve to win because they're special mommy's little man or whatever. They don't want to have an honest argument or debate. They want to just be right.
Yeah, and Anthony Vogel's quite right. It's the Malloy is a Media Matters activist, and the guide provided was from Media Matters, produced by them, published by them, and promoted by them, especially by the person who probably helped write it, Parker Malloy. It's like, here's a guide to be able to talk to how you talk about trans people when speaking in the past context. And you know, somewhere in there is going to be, you have to ask them, because if you refer to them as they, but it's I'm she, I'm zer, you're going to offend somebody. So really, ultimately, it boils down to, what do you want me to call you afterwards, so you can yank my chain and tell me that I'm somehow immoral for applying to you, trans person, a different pronoun than you would have had to apply to a different person. Well, you have to ask them first, but how do I know if I'm referring to an individual and I haven't had a chance to ask them yet? And anyway,
real quick, Chicago Mike, thank you. Monkey, I'm going back to work soon. Chicago Mike, have a good time there, man. I hope your day passes quickly, because man, long work days always sucked.
Yeah.
I miss them though. I do miss working. I really do. I miss getting out of the house. It was weird when the first time I got my neck injury, that's when I realized, holy shit, I need to get out of the house now and then, because I was in the house for like 4 months straight.
What did people get super angry about in the 80s, Monkey?
What's that?
What did people get super angry about in the 80s? What was a controversy going on there?
Commies.
Commies, yeah.
I remember them. I mean, they hated Reagan, of course, which was in the news all the time. I don't remember them getting angry like they do now.
No. There were causes. People still had things they rallied for, but it wasn't as negative as it is now.
Time out. I'm sorry. Are you going to debate Vegan Gains again, referring to his video about you recently? He made a video about me recently?
Whoa.
What was it about?
He's always swift to the punch, this guy, right on time.
Is that why I got some new subs? Because my subs have been dying because I don't make videos anymore, and that kills your sub count. But no, I didn't realize he even made a video about me.
Wait
I don't pay much attention to Vegan Gains.
You're not sub to Vegan Gains? Oh my god.
No, I followed him for a while on Twitter, but I mean it's boring. The last time me and him had any interaction was when his channel got struck down, and I immediately came out like, no, bring him back. And I actually reached out to him in private too. I'm like, dude, I know we don't get along, but I'm sorry to hear what happened to your channel because that's bullshit. But yeah, that was the last interaction me and him had. Is he still mad that I eat meat? And then he wants to eat a retard?
Yeah, that was so funny. What about those aliens, Monkey?
Oh my god.
That was
one of my proudest moments, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, what a great shit show that was.
Oh my god, it was. Lady Monkey came to me in the middle of it. You need to calm down. Like, shut up. No. I'm having fun. It's turd flinging monkey. Oh yeah, we're different. There is an actual turd flinging monkey out there, guys. Like I said, yeah, me and Vegan Gains haven't spoken in months. I did want to ask you guys, did you guys see any of these CNN town halls yesterday?
No.
CNN did a 5-hour special where they had 5 different Democrat candidates up there for town halls. And the first one I saw, I only got to see part of it. I saw the first one when Klobuchar was on there. Is that how you say her name?
I don't know. So. How about Loser?
Loser, yeah. She isn't going to win anything. And she had an actual Jeb Bush moment.
Oh, I did see that clip. That was sad.
This is where you're supposed to cheer. I'm like, oh my God. It looked much better than when Bush did it because the crowd actually did cheer at that point.
Yeah, and when Bush did it, it was just, he was clearly sad. Like his feelings were actually hurt. Like,
yes.
Please clap.
He looked like that one dude on the roller coaster. He looked so Corrigan. Sad. She was still at least upbeat. She's like, this, like, we don't have the applause sign, so I have to tell you, kind of thing. But yeah, this is where you're supposed to cheer. But the only other parts that I saw were from Elizabeth Warren's, because Elizabeth Warren yesterday, she announced that she is going to forgive almost all college debt and give everybody free college as long as it's to a public college.
Well, I don't know if she has that kind of power, even as president. Wouldn't that be something for the legislature to take up?
Well, yeah, it would have to go through Congress, and she'd have to figure out the plan is like something like $1.27 billion for just paying off all the loans, and then I want to say it was like $500 billion a year for the upkeep. He did a response to turd flinging monkey called "Should Women Vote?" Oh, okay, yeah, that's not me.
That's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, I might fling turds, but I don't put it in my name. But anyway, so if you thought there was going to be any hard questions, they had young people asking the questions.
Oh, strike one.
Yeah, and so you just knew these were going to be hard-hitting questions. And one of Elizabeth Warren's questions was, how are you going to take care of the student loan crisis in America? Like, the bitch has literally been tweeting that all day. And you're going to tell me one of these young people just happened to ask that exact question, which wasn't asked of any of the other people.
How convenient.
Like this should be in-kind contributions to the Democratic candidates, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
This was commercials for them.
Oh, absolutely. But what do you expect from CNN?
Yeah. It sounds about right to me. I mean, but that one, because CNN, after she was asked that, they actually put it on Twitter like 3 different times, that same video of her talking about how she'll take care of it. I'm like, could you be more fucking obvious? The only other thing that I saw was Kyle Kalinske was mad because Bernie was the only one who got real hard questions. You want to know what Bernie's hard question was?
Boxers and briefs.
Close. How do you expect socialism to work when it hasn't worked anywhere else?
Do you bring up whatchamacallit?
I didn't get to see his response or anything.
Nordic countries.
Well,
sure he did.
Kyle did when he was bitching about it, because Kyle's a Bernie bro. Bernie bro, yo. He's like, he doesn't want Venezuela, he wants Denmark.
Yeah, well, Denmark's supported by the EU, so
and Denmark doesn't have an integrated economy at all, right? He doesn't want this, he wants that. We want to shut up, all of you, a bunch of commie pricks.
They love to point to the Scandinavian countries and go, see, socialism's working here. Ask the Scandinavian countries if they think they're socialist. They absolutely deny the charge, and there's a good reason for it. They're not socialist. They have some socialist programs, but not near what some of these Democrat candidates. Like at this point, Elizabeth Warren, she's so far behind in the polls and stuff. She's just like, I will give you free everything.
Yeah,
free everything.
It's like I said the other day,
you to vote.
She's flopping around like a dying fish on the shore. Yeah. Like it's like, notice me. Like these are death throw comments she's making, and she knows it. Just quit already. Quit wasting fucking your donors' money.
Well, I think she has certain reservations about that.
Jesus damn you.
Nice.
I keep accidentally calling her chief at the end of sentences when I tweet to her.
Yeah, accidentally.
It is. You know,
yeah.
Like when you call somebody sport or it's like, what's up, chief? Plus I come from a Navy background. My dad was a chief. So I mean it's accidental. I'm sorry, Miss Red. Yeah, but she got a lot of attention yesterday for her. We're gonna pay for everything, and it's just like, could you be more transparent? And then that fucking question from CNN. I'm like, are you out of your? Come on. You know what you just did. Yeah, somebody asked me yesterday what I think about the Democrat candidates, and at least usually I can find things that I like about some of them and everything. But until this crowd gets smaller and we see just how far left they're going, because they are running to the left, just like they want to out Bernie for fuck's sake. Jack, hang on a second I forgot about that, guys. The Ranting Monkey is brought to you by you. If you'd like to donate, there's a $sign at the bottom of the box here, or you could go over to Streamlabs. Don't forget to support the people on the show. Jack just threw his Streamlabs in there. Show him some love. Throw some money at him so he can have some ramen too. Jack has to do his laundry, man. He needs quarters. Give him quarters for laundry.
I do need to do laundry, so
see. And Polly doesn't have a Streamlabs, but you can go support his channel by watching it. He does a stream every Wednesday night. He's eventually going to start doing videos as well. If you like these two on here, you should go watch them over there. It's fun, and don't think it's just nerdy comic stuff, because they talk about a lot of stuff. So
we talk about a lot of nerdy stuff.
That's right. Go watch them.
Monkey, you realize like my videos, the edited ones I'm talking about, of course, the reviews and then the ragey commentaries, they're started up. So like, the kind of relentless prick I'm going to be, that even I'm doing edited videos now, Monkey. Yeah, I'm just going to hate on you pretty bad.
Tell you what, when you get to 200 and some, then you can fuck with me. I did videos every day for like 9 months. And
but I got a day job.
Oh, that's a low blow.
Rub it in. Jesus.
That's Dad telling us to go get a job, Jack.
Yeah, well, joke's on you. I don't have to do what you say. I'm a grown up.
That's a low blow.
You're not my real dad.
Oh,
Polly,
was-
I have 735 videos currently posted. So
well,
get on
no.
it.
Hey, I was about to say, Jack, I would never bust your balls. You're like the most prolific guy I know. So that's
Next, he's going to tell us to get a haircut.
Right? And he's going to complain about how I do my laundry or something.
Oh man, yeah, no, I do. I miss making video, and I know I say that a lot, but I really do. I miss doing it. And then it comes time to do it, and it's like there's nothing I care enough about to do this right now.
So you got to get more rage filled. You got to get your passion back.
it's sort of some inside baseball shit. But did you ever think about clipping out the particularly funny back and forth of Monkey in the Morning moments and posting them as like 6-minute clips?
Like highlight reels.
I have
like highlight reels. That's a great way. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they are. Yeah.
I have, but one, it feels really lazy to me.
It kind of does, but I
so?
mean, not. I mean, how many people are watching right now? 200 or so.
Do we have 200 people watching this shit?
I don't know.
131.
I don't. 131. Okay. Well, I noticed you're somewhere between like 115 and 200, sometimes over that.
Yeah,
Wait, I don't know. Maybe
it drifts around a lot, but yeah. Usually.
But I mean, not everybody. It's kind of a tall order. You got a lot of subs, and it's kind of a tall order to sit through a 2-hour plus stream.
Sure.
Those wouldn't really be so much for the people that were here, but the people that weren't. You know.
Yeah, and think of all the people that look at Medicare's excerpts on other people's channels.
I'm retweeting because you said 131 is like that's too low. We need more.
Speaking of which, I'm going to be that guy. 132 people watching, 76 likes. I'm not even going to hit the dislike button. I'll be the nice guy and hit the like button. And think about slapping that like button, people.
Slap it.
And then go over to the Monkey store on Teespring and buy a T-shirt.
Oh man, I forget. I always forget to pimp that out. We always get confused when we start shilling, guys. Sorry about that. The topics go bye-bye because it's shill time. You were talking about something before that, Jack. What was it?
Fuck if I know.
There we go.
Before the highlight reel or during or
I just think that it's a good idea to take excerpts out of the show and make them as little like a highlight reel is all I can think of to call it.
That's a great description of it, actually. Because I mean, it wouldn't be like clip after clip after clip, but like, I mean, what was so hard about having like a MS Word document or open or something? And when something really funny happens, like according to your taste, it's like, holy shit, that was really great. Timestamp it, type out the timestamp and say, telling Polly my incorrect opinions about Westerns again, you know,
damn.
and then,
you know, Dad, come on. Look, he's now Polly Dad. Peter says something that I've heard this a lot, and I need to let me put this to rest for you. Peter says if you don't stream so much, making videos would be more of an outlet. If you go back to when I first started streaming, I was still making videos every day, and Polly just hit on it a moment ago. There's a reason for it. No matter what I talk about on these streams, I can make a video about everything because while there's 130 of you here right now, a video tends to get about 10K viewers. They didn't see me talk about any of it. So there's very few of you who would be getting a redux. The problem, if you listen to my rants, man, most of them are like a minute and a half long. And I'm like, I don't care about that anymore.
Just post shorter videos.
Well, I don't mind shorter videos. Look, 10 minutes is what YouTube wants, and I like to hit it when I can. But I have no problem with shorter videos. But it's got to be worth the time to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because go watch Styx, man. Styx, most of his videos are not 10 minutes long. He does like 1 10-minute a day, and then he's got 3 or 4 7-minutes. So the algorithm, yeah, it's important, but it's not the be all end all. What your audience is still going to come find you, which is the great thing about having people who like to watch you. Is something broken in me, guys, and I'll fix it. I will. I miss your videos, but I prefer to listen to you in real time. I like my videos, and I'm not meaning to be an asshole there, because I know we're not supposed to be proud of the stuff we do. We're supposed to be, okay, yeah, it's okay. But I liked my videos. I love the back and forth here, but I think I'm funnier in the videos, and I like to be funny.
I genuinely think I'm bad, so I'm not saying anything.
I have way too much self-esteem. I took everyone else's. Stop streaming for 3 days and the rage will build up enough to make a video.
I think the boredom will build up more.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to find something that, and not just one thing, like the abortion video. That one, that I was like pissed that fucking day, man. I could have done streaming for like 4 days on that and still made that video, because I was just pissed. I couldn't believe what the fuck I was hearing from human beings. I'm like, what kind of fucking person are you?
Eugenicist. Yeah.
Oh, god damn. But like the anti-SJW stuff, I still really like that. But the majority of it these days is it actually is in the mainstream politic. And it's not that I don't want to go through and go through stories. Like I've done that many times, but it's finding the ones that motivate me enough to actually do it. Ex-Bubba Hotep, thank you. Topic change, Endgame in 3 days. Excited, hesitant, thoughts? I'm excited, man. I am. Oh, it's the only thing I actually asked for my birthday. They came out like, okay, what else do you want? And I gave Steam cards. You can never go wrong with giving me a Steam card, because I will find a game to buy. But yeah, my wife's like, look, I want to see Endgame for my birthday. I know it doesn't come out till after, but I want to go to the movies. And she really liked the first one, so she's excited for it too. But yeah, I'm really excited. You guys?
I'm a little worried that they're going to make Captain Marvel the one-hit Mary Sue, where she goes and hits him once and then it's over.
Polly?
I'm worried for the same. I'm worried for the same reason that Jack is, and I really am, because this is going to be the last. This is the swan song for a lot of the characters, right? And that they would all be bent out of shape in this way, like out of character in this way. Man, that moment. Everybody talks about the Don Cheadle, Chris Hemsworth, and Carl Manverse discussion on the press junket, where they were talking about who's stronger, Thor, and you see some kind of like boredom from the other actors, Don Cheadle and Chris Hemsworth, having to listen to Brie Larson say what she was saying. The thing that stuck out to me is when Don Cheadle said, we're doing it, we're all part of a team, but then this is also the passing the torch movie. And I'm like, that's Don, man. Jesus, you shouldn't have said that. I was already worried enough. You know what I mean? It's because Infinity War was such a great film. That's why I'm worried. The bar is set so incredibly high, and this is the last film where they're going to be the Avengers together. The last film of Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans. Man, it's going to be rough.
Man. That's a loss.
Huge loss. I love him as Steve Rogers. He's kind of a douchebag in real life. Whatever, man. He plays Steve Rogers like fuck. He brought that character to life for me right off the comic book pages. It's incredible. So to see him kind of like, Captain Gender Studies comes out of nowhere and punches the patriarchy. Like it's just going to be awful. So like, I'm going with this thinking of, you know what? After this, they're all just really expensive fan films. The last MCU film that happened that was in any kind of continuity to be accepted is Infinity War. After that, high budget fan films.
I didn't care about Infinity War until I saw a trailer maybe a week and a half before it came out. And I watched it, and it was such a good trailer. I'm like, I have to see this. And so me and Lady Monkey went to watch. And this one, the first trailer that came out for Endgame was bad. It was just bad. I'm like, that didn't excite me at all. And then they made a better one, and they've made better ones since. The Captain Marvel thing, I hope they don't Mary Sue her. We all know what they are.
Yeah.
We all knew this was going to be a torch passing movie. There are ways they can do it well. If Captain Marvel helps instead of being the Mary Sue, that's fine.
Yeah, but that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're ruining my heart on, man.
Sorry.
I have high hopes for it just because one, it is a Marvel movie. At worst, I'm going to come out of it going, well, it was a Marvel movie, and I like Marvel movies, so
yeah. But the cynical bastard side of me tends to take over with these things, and more often than not, I think I'm right because I'm a cold-hearted, cynical bastard.
Over on James Colley, you ass. He posted a GIF of empty water, and he said, "The lake where monkeys' ducks used to reside, they passed on due to neglect." That ain't nice. My ducks are still alive and well. It is amazing how many people like I think people like my ducks more than they like me.
Well, I have an idea. All right, so if they do Mary Sue, Carl Manverse, what we have to do is have somebody go in and Photoshop in Shazam's Captain Marvel over top of her, so it'll look like he joined the Avengers, and then we can have our very own fan edit, and I will like it much better.
Peter says Thanos is a sick cunt. I don't agree. I think Thanos is at least the one in the MCU. He is a very interesting character.
Yeah, because he's more of a ruthless nihilist, pragmatist.
Yeah, and he's not doing it out of malice.
No, he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Right, and getting the Infinity Stones, that was so he didn't have to go planet by planet and kill half of the people individually. It was just to do it.
We all like efficiency.
Indeed. To me, he's not really a villain. And when he had to kill what's her name, and you see him cry over it, it is so important for him to do what he thinks is right here. He'll even kill the thing he loves the most. That's a tragic story. I think Thanos is just misunderstood. Dante says the weird part is Thanos is right. Sure, he's got a fucked up way of getting it done, but he's right about the universe being overpopulated. Well, yeah. I mean, except for there's probably planets that had very few people on it, and he just killed half of them. Oops.
What I think would be an interesting take would be, what if when he killed half the people, it didn't just kill half of each population,
right?
But it wiped out entire species.
It just took out Earth entirely.
Yeah, or some other planet like the Kree or something that creates this massive power imbalance and backfires on him like every wish spell in D&D.
Jason says Thanos is wrong no matter what. Is he? Is he? When he's talking to Gonorrhea, what's her name?
Gamora.
Yeah.
Gonorrhea. Jesus. Well, she's green.
She's green. She's Gonorrhea. He's talking about the planets that he's done this on. He's like, nobody hungers anymore. They don't know hunger. So I mean, is he wrong? I mean, that's our morality.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's sort of delving into Hitlerian territory if you start talking about eliminating portions of the population.
Well, he didn't do it, I mean, based on any ethnic thing or anything like that. It was just half of you have to go.
We don't know that. What if he's like, half of you need to go, and that starts with all you brown people?
Well, we saw at least one brown person survive. The chick that runs around with Kumite. What's his name? Kudakente.
T'Challa.
T'Challa, that's it. Man, I suck with names. I really do. Yeah, but I don't think Thanos is evil. He's not evil. That part is clear.
Well, it really comes down to perspective. He doesn't think he's evil, but other people, I think he understands other people think he's evil for what he's doing, but he thinks he's doing the right thing. I think he's secretly an analogy for Al Gore.
Hi Nuts, how you doing, sweetie? Welcome back. She's kind enough to put our links in there. Please support the channel if you can. It helps us. It makes it so I can eat. Good again. Yeah, that's Toby. My bad.
Yeah, Thanos' new name is Toby.
I was not meaning to be racist there. God damn it.
No, every time you see Black Panther, just call him Toby. It's cool.
Toby, my bad.
Disavow.
I disavow that. Jesus
You're the one that
Christ,
came up
Frank.
with it. You're like,
That's what I'm saying. I can disavow it. You have to own it. That's just.
I'll just delete it because that's not who I am. Fuck.
Wait 2 years, then delete it and be like, oh, that wasn't me. I was just,
my bad.
In so many ways, this has been the strangest stream that I've been on with you guys in a while. I like it. I like it.
It's been fun. I like these ones because they're all over the fucking place. Polly, is Thanos evil? Is he a bad guy?
Yes.
How so?
Because I understand because he wants to murder half the universe, and it's a plan that's ultimately going to fail. He has like so many great evil characters, be they in the real world or in fiction, they have a grand design that they're going to follow through. And as many eggs need to get broken to make that omelet, they're totally okay with it. I mean, Darth Vader, from that perspective, is not evil. He's trying to restore order, and these filthy rebels are causing disorder. He's trying to bring the rule of law to the galaxy. But of course, you know what I mean? The rule of law is crushing and oppressive and et cetera, et cetera. He's got that short range thinking because he has this grand design that needs to be enacted no matter what. And like all well-written villains, they don't see themselves as villains. Villains always see themselves as the hero from within their own mind. Thanos sees himself as the hero. The reason why why his plan's ultimately doomed to fail is it's not written in the comic book form where he's causing death and then creates life to create more unending death as a sacrifice to his love, which is the embodiment in the Marvel universe of death. Like,
that was weird that they cut that out, but I understand why.
I understand why, because it is high concept, right? Because you'd have to introduce the various abstract cosmic characters in the Marvel universe. And I get it, man. That's a lot of backstory and a lot of stuff. So they make him sort of like a universal environmentalist. And it's not like that didn't come up in the comic books as well. Silver Surfer describes it, or in Silver Surfer, Thanos describes it to Surfer as galactic universal euthanasia for the sake of environmentalism. He calls himself literally an environmentalist, but he's in the middle of trying to justify the shit that he's up to. Overpopulation is the problem. Well, anyone who's ever studied Malthus's population studies or looked at them or heard of them, whatever, what Darwin based his work on is how there's a fight for food. And it's like rabbits in a given field. If you cull the population of rabbits, they, meaning like kill 10, 15, 20% of them, they will very rapidly take that space up and their population will be exactly the same soon again. And the problem, of course, from Thanos' perspective, somebody with omnipotent power just wipes out half of life, as opposed to, advancing technology to the point where scarcity isn't a problem, as opposed to creating a bunch of more inhabitable worlds. So the overpopulation of the few inhabited worlds isn't as tight as it was. There was like a million other ways of looking at it. But of course, he had his grand design. He had to follow it through murderously so on an unheard of scale.
Who else did that? Stalin.
Stalin, yeah.
Jesus Christ. And Adolf Hitler did not see himself as a villain. Stalin didn't see him as a villain. Of course, they're extremely villainous,
Stalin did nothing wrong. It was the West that starved all those people.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the argument with communists in space.
Yes, I'm just.
Anthony Vogel says Thanos is an eco-fascist. I love that. That's great.
Well, I get what you're saying, especially about the comic book Thanos. But in the movie, I mean, his only goal is to help the to help the people who remain. In his mind, that's what he's doing. If this planet is starving, it's because there's too many people. Get rid of half of the people. Look at how much food there is. You don't have the backstory with like death and murdering people over and over again. It's just one time, bam. And I get what you're saying about the population coming back, but we do see that. I mean, humans do that. We cull herds all the time to keep the rest of the herds eating. Up here in Michigan, I mean, there's deer hunting, and one of the arguments that always comes up when you have people who are pro hunting, which by the way I am, I have no problem with it, is that if there isn't the hunting season, a lot of these deer are going to die anyway of starvation. So the movie version of Thanos, I don't see as evil. I see him as maybe really fucked up. Don't get me wrong, but he's not an evil guy. He's trying to do the right thing, and he even says himself, "I'm the only one willing to do it."
You know what?
Right.
They played a dangerous game with Thanos. It happened to work. It was a gamble. Good for them that it worked, but it was a dangerous game they were playing. Holy shit, did they make him a sympathetic character?
They did. That's what I'm talking. I mean, they make
it.
He's just as sympathetic as Pol Pot when Pol Pot moved those poor farmers out of their fields and redistributed it to the city urban planners. See, that's exactly what Thanos was doing too. He's like, we got enough farmers. Let's move some of our city people out there and learn them some new skills.
And those people with glasses. You're those intellectuals. Yeah, well, giant mass grave for you. You know, it's.
Well, you gotta pick half the population. It's not all going to be winners.
I mean, they set up the whole thing with Gamora as a child. First of all, that he is empathetic to a child. Don't look. He doesn't want to scare her, and he gives her a present, the perfectly balanced. See, take it. Yeah, he's nice. He talks very fatherly and caringly to her, right? And then that's who he has to sacrifice, and he's willing to do it. It's like, holy fuck, this is like the protagonist hero story, not the villains. But they play that game, and you still see him as the villain. Delicate balance the Russo brothers played there, and it works because we're sitting here arguing, was he really that bad, the guy who killed half of all life? Like,
it turned out that Gamora was Anastasia Romanoff.
she had gonorrhea. He was doing her a favor. Look, you brought up Darth Vader earlier, and I agree with you. No villain very few villains, no good villains think they're being evil. But Darth Vader, I mean, they clearly portray him as evil. I mean,
you've got to work at it to figure out how he would think of himself as the hero. Yeah, you got to, like, you see it in the prequel trilogies more, where it's like, these roles. But as for the first three, no, he's just source of radiating evil in the original trilogy.
Dude, he brought balance to the Force, like killing all the Jedi.
I fucking hated that. The prophecy, Jesus.
He fulfilled the prophecy. He brought balance to the Force by murdering everyone.
Oh God. That's a whole nother story.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm sorry.
You're not. That's what they did. Jesus Ron Hubbard brought balance to the universe.
Random American says the reason Thanos is evil, he took out half the universe, and it didn't include Captain Marvel.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's a good point, and it made me think like maybe there's going to be like Easter eggs in there for the people that hate Carl Manvers and Brie Larson.
I doubt it.
You never know, because I mean, that moment where it's like you should have gone for the head when he. Maybe there's going to be a moment like that where, like, right before Carl Manvers punches him out of existence or whatever she's going to do to Mary Sue the movie to safety, he's going to I should have killed you first.
This is going to be the ultimate feminist movie, because what do we have? We have a strong, independent woman that don't need no man punching some guy that looks like a giant Wang because he's a big purple guy.
Yeah,
scrotum chin.
I hope that I come out of this, and I was saying this to Zelthor before. I hope that this will be the one movie that it's like, okay, it's over the MCU up until, what is it, phase 3 now? That, hey man, it was an incredible run, billions and billions of dollars in ticket sales, great characters, proved that superheroes work across brought interest in comics, and then the comics pros totally tanked their own industry because they're idiots. But it was a great thing. 23 odd films, including Endgame. Good. It's over, and everything else that they promote after that is just like, come on, this is all You can go into head canon. This isn't canon. This is just you guys are hoping to cash in. Additionally, it's actually over now.
You know you're going to be the first one in line to see Kamala Khan.
You know what's funny? Actually, in that conversation, what came up is it's Chadwick Boseman, guy who plays T'Challa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Notice he wasn't demanding. I don't want to be interviewed by no white men,
Right?
Because he's a man of class. Like, and there's every outward sign that Chadwick Boseman is exactly that, a professional. And I really liked him in the film. And Black Panther, the only things that annoyed me about it were the things around it. Nothing in the film itself. There was no like the part in Captain Marvel where it's like the No Doubt song kicks in and just when she realizes that, you know, I've come into my womanhood, and it's like, I'm just a girl in the world, and she's flying around kicking ass, and it's like, this is so fucking stupid. There's no moment where you know, T'Challa starts kicking ass and all of a sudden Proud to Be Black Y'all from Run DMC starts playing. Like, you know what I mean? But it would have to be on that level. It would have to be that fucking stupid.
What if they played that Kate Smith song that's been going around?
What Kate Smith song?
I can't even say the name. It's mildly racist.
Oh. Okay.
I don't even know who Kate Smith is. So,
She sang "God Bless America" back in like 1929.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? There's a line from it that's like really racist.
Yeah, because it was a song written by her and a black guy.
Yes,
and it's a satire song, but it is incredibly racist.
What is it? The darkies. Oh fuck! We
We're
talked
born. That's why I'm not using that word on stream because I know my luck. That'll end up on a clip. That's why blank we're born is the name of the song.
I still don't know what you're talking about, so I get to remain blissfully ignorant, I guess.
There was she was it Philadelphia Flyers?
Yeah, New York team and Philadelphia both refused to play her.
Yeah,
God Bless America anymore.
She used to sing "God Bless America." They played it at every game, and they've stopped it because they found this song that's called "That's Why Darkies Were Born."
Okay,
and yeah, they decided that she's way too racist, even though she's been dead for fucking ever. This song was recorded back in 1931.
Yeah, I threw a link to it in the chat.
Well, you know what I've come to realize since getting woke is that I can't go see Endgame because it has that horribly racist, unrepentant scumbag in the form of Robert Downey Jr. who did an entire movie in blackface. Am I right?
Oh yeah, indeed.
Like, how about the guy who Ben Stiller? You wrote and directed that film. And so you not only encouraged it, but wrote the role where this guy went in blackface. Like, that is so problematic. I don't even have words. I mean, I'm literally shaking. Could someone call me an ambulance?
Right.
We need this guy to apologize publicly to every POC out there, and then we will harangue him after doing it as not enough. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., you need to apologize, you problematic cis white hetero male.
Well, the thing about this song is that I haven't read the lyrics, but it's been said to be, if you look it up on right there, it was in the story we read last night, but it's here too. It's a satirical view of racism. They're not actually being racist.
But
nope, nuance is forbidden. You know that.
Anyhow, yeah, that was fucking stupid. That would have been great if they played that right as T'Challa. That's his name, right? I got it right.
Yeah,
Toby. Started kicking ass.
No, but I mean, you see the point, but they didn't during the press junket for the film. They could have every reason and excuse the media would have supported them, but it would have been for the director who wanted to make a great movie, great story, great characters, set it up within the Marvel universe. You know, it's almost like the guy has fucking dignity or something. You know, and it's for the actor, why? It's almost like he's got dignity or something, where Brie Larson doesn't have that problem. Neither does the director of Captain Marvel.
She doesn't ascribe to your patriarchal view of dignity, air quotes.
Well, can you imagine Chadwick Boseman during an interview getting like a doorbell ring from FedEx and then coming back and then the interviewer saying, who was that? And oh, that was racism at the door. Can you imagine how, like, it would just, but nobody would say, come on, Chadwick, what are you doing, buddy? Like, no one would say that because it's like, oh, well, he feels strongly about being woke. They're afraid to say it to Brie for the same reasons, except she has the lack of, I don't know, what dignity doesn't, is that the right word? It's just, don't you care that you're looking like a fool right now and you're trivializing these claims that you say are important?
Polly, she doesn't know she looks like a fool because she can't read emotions from you humans.
Is that picture on here? Yeah, it is right there. This is from the Endgame premiere. This just sums up my issue with Brie Larson. Two ladies from the Endgame premiere.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. Look, she's got a little cute smile going on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she looks like she's drunk.
Yeah, she looks like she'd be fun. Brie looks like she'd tell you to put it back in your pants.
No, she looks like she's going to talk to my manager about it.
Yeah,
you know, I was just about to say, if I was to put a caption underneath Brie Larson's picture, that one right there, it would be, your manager's not here yet. I asked 2 minutes ago.
Yeah,
you know,
bitch, learn to smile for fuck's sake.
Oh, you can't say that to a woman? How dare you?
You know what? That's
monster.
I fucking hate that. I hate that. Don't tell a woman to smile. Like, why not? Women look good when they smile. And
no, I'm taking the opposite stance. I am telling women to stop smiling. Like, what the fuck are you smiling about, bitch?
Like, why? You're literally telling me that telling somebody to be happy is wrong. The fuck is wrong with you? It's not that I am owed a fucking smile. It's that I like to see women smile because I like happy women.
No, you're not allowed to smile anymore. Fun has been outlawed. We've learned this with comedy. And obviously, Brie Larson has understood this memo and is taking it to heart. So do not tell her to smile. Just if you ever see her smile, be like, what the fuck are you smiling about?
You smiling at, bitch. Stop it. Yeah, I like that line. I think you're right, Jack. What are you smiling at, bitch? Stop oppressing me with your smile.
Yeah, you need to walk around and look like somebody farted right next to you and you don't know who it is. That's the look every woman should have from now on. That, like, what the hell?
Did you guys
now, real quick before we move, this is kind of cool. The ladies, this is what they were wearing on their hands. That is awesome.
Let's see.
That thing on the left, I recognize that from Stargate. That's what they used to suppress people with. So clearly, I see an alien, which was, of course, a reptile in the form of Scarlett Johansson.
No, I think those are pretty cool. I mean, you're wearing the gauntlet without actually wearing the gauntlet.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Paul. You were about to say something.
Yeah, there we are. Let me just share my screen. Antonio Bryce sent out this tweet, and it's
Polly's playing on the tweeter.
Look at this. So, like you said a little while ago, this is so funny.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, that's a very unflattering picture.
It's just so great because it really does look like, did you buy the dress 5 times too big? What's going on here? Like Scarlett Johansson's filling it out and holding that dress up. This whatever's going on here, I don't know.
See, I don't think Brie Larson's a bad looking chick. That's a terrible picture, but she's not that bad looking. She's like that attainable soccer mom hot. But it's that face that says, like, she looks like somebody farted near her and she's trying to figure out who it is. I'm serious. That it's like the worst detective in history. And if she would just get rid of that bitchiness, she could be a fairly pretty woman.
I just want to ask her who hurt her.
It was her dad.
You have to imagine.
She never smiles. It's like, what? Smile, bitch. Just smile. But again, this is the same bitch who got upset because a dude dared ask for her number. How dare he?
Yeah, because he probably thought she was a soccer mom. She's not a spectacular looking woman, but she's not ugly. She's pretty, but pretty in that, like, C squad at the strip joint kind of way. You know, that's the type of chick that would sleep with me if she just got divorced.
she's not Top Gun hot, but I mean, she's okay.
Then again,
Yeah.
did you see Kelly McGillis only a few years after Top Gun? I've seen those photographs.
Dude.
Ooh.
Well, but she looked good in the movie, and she smiled once in a while, even though her character was a bitch. Yeah, Brie, just smile. And I know, yeah, you're right, Jack. I'm not supposed to tell women's to smile because that's patriarchy or something.
Well, could you have better evidence that like feminists and people, social justice people who focus on racism, whatever, endlessly, like Brie Larson should be sitting on top of the motherfucking world. Everything should be, a giant bowl of cherries for her right now. Like, you're famous, you're well known, your movie's doing great, you're rich. The fuck is your fucking problem? And it's like, because they refuse to lighten up. Even when they have everything, they refuse to fucking lighten up. It's about seeing the world in such a way that it's gonna just taint your soul, man. Seemingly.
Yeah, I'm black pilled as fuck, but I find things to smile about occasionally. Usually the misery of people I hate. But Chat Moore in chat is absolutely right. Scarlett Johansson is not hot. She is at best a 6.
Look, in this
sorry.
picture, hang on, I'm telling you. And you know what? She may be a 6 in this picture. But which of those two would you approach at a bar?
Oh yeah, I mean the one on the left looks like she's gonna party with you a little more, and the one on the right looks like she's gonna lay there like a sack of wheat. But
she ain't ugly.
No, but she just looks boring and jilted.
Oh man, she's gonna let you put it in the back door right away.
Yeah. But I don't know.
This one's not going to touch you without a lawyer and 4 condoms.
I still say that Scarlett Johansson will always look less attractive with blonde hair. I mean, she naturally has she's got pretty red strawberry blonde hair naturally. Just like, honey, stop going with the blonde. You're not Marilyn Monroe. The platinum blonde, you look even worse. Just go with the red hair. It's gorgeous. It's fine. You look way better with it. Stick with it.
No, I don't find her attractive at all.
This looks like Brie is the before picture, and this is the after picture. After Soccer Mom has had a few wine spritzers and done the soccer coach.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a rough choice between those two, because one's going to be fun in the, like, I'm going to have chlamydia in the morning way, and the other one looks like she's just not going to do anything and lay there and be like, why haven't I come yet? I don't know, maybe because you're not breathing.
Why did you ask for my number? She's judging with every glance. Yeah, God, lighten up, bitch. Lighten up. That's what feminism does to women. Stop it.
Yeah. The worst part is Brie Larson has that look like her eyes are following you and judging you no matter where you're standing. You know, like those optical illusions where the eyes follow you around the room. Mm-hmm. She's got that, but with a judging bitch look.
Yeah, and people have said resting bitch face. No, that is purposeful bitch face.
Yeah, if she was a happier person, I don't think she'd have that sour ass fucking expression on all the time.
Ugh.
Yeah, I've never seen her with just a mid-range look, like, shit happens. No, it's why are you fucking looking at me? Isn't there a cripple man who could be looking at me instead?
Yeah, excuse me, you're not allowed to look at me unless you're a POC disabled person.
Indeed. Why haven't I come yet, Brie Larson? What the fuck are we even doing?
I don't know. I'm gonna get a letter.
We're going into the way past the 3rd hour, man. That's what
damn, yeah. Are we really? Fuck.
Yeah.
This has been a fun conversation.
Yeah.
That's another reason I like these. They just fucking fly by.
Weibo's right. Smiling is part of patriarchy.
That's right. That's okay. I'm a man, so it helps me.
We endorse the patriarchy because we're part of it.
Oh man! And hi, Weibo. How are you? Aren't you supposed to be studying or something? Having us on in the background when you're supposed to be studying is a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a terrible plan.
Because Jack will say something inappropriate, I'll laugh, and Polly's going to yell at us.
I never yell. And
then I'll get sent to my room, and he'll be like, "You are such a disappointment." It'll just be like my real parents. Oh my god, are you gonna disown me before the end of the stream? Because
don't make me pull this stream over. I will, I swear.
Excuse me. Was there anything else I wanted to go over before we wrap this up today? Oh man, I don't know. Oh, we never did go to the hashtag except for to look at boobs. Guys, if there's a story you want us to look at, I'm not promising. We'll do our best. It's hashtag MITAM for this show. Now, don't be worried if you go over there and you see some what is it, One Direction? Those assholes thought this was their hashtag. It's not. It's us. I promise.
Yeah, just ignore them. They don't know what they're doing.
Damn, man allegedly steals car with child in it, gets shot by child's father. I have no problem with that story.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That sounds fine.
Yeah, don't steal cars, people. It's like horse thieving. You know, that's
can you imagine the rage? It's like, your car's moving away. You're not thinking about the car. You're thinking about your child asleep in the back seat. And it's like, motherfucker, yeah, come out blasting.
Well,
for sure.
We don't know anything about this kid. He might be like the Downsy special, and that might have been a Lamborghini. We don't have all the facts yet, Polly.
This comes to us via Necrosol. A man who allegedly stole a car with a 6-year-old boy inside was pursued and ultimately shot by the boy's father in Palm Beach County, Florida. Local 10 reports that 29-year-old Lamar Thurman allegedly climbed into the car parked outside a home with its engine running and drove off. You left your kid in there with the engine running?
Maybe the kid was driving.
Okay. The father, who was inside the home, came running out and pursued the car in another vehicle. Thurman allegedly crashed during the pursuit, but tried to take off again as the father and others were working to rescue the boy. The father then opened fire. Oof.
Yeah, not guilty.
They don't tell us if he was. Oh, he's in the hospital with critical condition. The 6-year-old boy is fine. Oh, good. Yeah, don't steal cars, and definitely don't steal a car with a kid inside, because I'd have shot you until you were dead.
Yeah, I would have no problem if a third party saw this happening, ran up and shot the dude then.
Right. You just took off with a kid, man. No. Man, there was one time we were standing in line in Walmart, and I always keep my children when they were little right in my view. We would actually do this thing. Lady Monkey would walk in front, the kids in the middle, and me behind. And I'd tell them, like, line up like ducks. I have a thing with ducks. I don't know what it is. I always kept them in my view, and I have a very good peripheral vision. I can see like almost directly beside my head. And my youngest was standing next to me, and I just see him go up and back. And I turned around ready to fucking fight. It was my dad. I'm like, motherfucker, don't you do that. I will. Don't you do that? Yeah, I'm very protective of the children. That's a Sri Lanka story. We've been over that. What? Oh God. Okay. Another one from Massive Dynamic. This comes from the Metro. There's going to be some British words in here. Man paid flatmate 170 pounds to cut off his penis in drunken bid to go viral.
That is the wrong way to get famous, you guys.
The 33-year-old English teacher was seen bleeding heavily in the northern Spanish city of Zaragoza last month, sparking a bizarre police investigation. His mutilated penis was discovered in a bag at his home after officers reportedly followed the trail of blood. According to local reports, an operation to reattach the man's penis has been successful. His flatmate was detained, but police did not. The expat reportedly did not want to press charges and waived his right to compensation before flying back to Britain.
Dog backwards said, "Is this Worski?"
That'll be on a upcoming show. It emerged last week that he had offered the Spaniard money to carry out the stunt. Jesus. Fuck.
What the fuck is wrong with people? First of all, it said mutilated, which meant the guy probably had to do it in more than one swipe.
Yeah.
So that's a sawing action, and that is not going to look right ever again. Good job, weirdo.
Sawing action. Jesus.
Yeah, if you're gonna slice off your genitals, you want a really sharp knife so you can just do it in one.
The people I feel bad for are the cops that had to investigate this because they had to write a report without laughing. And they're not allowed to put funny little comments in the report.
Yeah, I would be laughing at this guy. Like, you paid somebody to cut off your dick to get famous. Jesus Christ. And we're going to finish with this one. This was from Colleen Bernier, and we read it last night, but I love this story. Maid of honor forced to clean up 99 dead goldfish after bride's idea goes horribly wrong. Oh, they want me to take some survey to read this. No. I already know the story. I don't need to hear your shit. So here's what happens, right? The bride really, really loves animals, especially fish.
Okay.
Weird.
So for her wedding, she ordered a whole bunch of feeder fish, your basic goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
And she expected everyone who came to the wedding to take one home.
Because she's retarded.
Well, nobody took one home. Nobody wanted it.
I don't go to a wedding looking to get carnival prizes.
Well, here's the other part. They didn't have any way to take them home. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed
the bowls they were using, the little globes, like used by the caterers or whatever?
Yeah, they were the caterers' little bowls. So they had to stay. So you had to like, let me go out to the car. I always keep a goldfish tank out there. So the maid of honor, for some reason, ended up having to take care of them all. So she takes home 99 of these motherfuckers. And over the next few days, they all died except for one who's lived. What's the story say at the end? It outlived. Here it is. It lingered far longer than my friendship with the bride, and far, far longer than her marriage.
Yeah, well, the bitch sounds nuts, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Well, what'd she have it for? Like 5 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that one lasted 5 years.
Yeah. So, okay, first of all, here's how I would have handled it. Okay, I got to take all these things home in this big plastic bag that I bought them in, right? I assume that's how she got them home.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Oh, look, there's a pond over there. You all live here now. Now I don't have to buy anything.
Yeah, that's a lot of fish to take care of, man. You need a pretty big tank set up properly for that. And I'm not surprised that this PETA supporter bride actually killed a whole bunch of fish for her wedding.
Fits with the PETA theme, doesn't it? Because they murder all the pets and whatnot.
Yeah, PETA is like the #1 killer of dogs in the country.
What she could have done is just waited till there was another incident where you could give the fish away, like say some dude cuts his penis off, and give him a bunch of fish. Be like, here's this.
You win.
Yeah, you win this prize. I mean, I feel bad for the maid of honor who had to do all the bitch work to take care of these fish.
I feel bad for the fish, man. I mean, they're just fish, but Jesus.
Yeah, I respect her efforts because she was way more concerned about these fish than the goofy bride was.
Oh, indeed. And those fish, they didn't die of hunger. They died of suffocation in their natural environment. Oh, man, I hate people.
There are things you take away from weddings, like the little disposable cameras people leave on the tables, so you can take pictures of the reception or whatever. Yeah, you go around and take a couple of those home.
Take the bride's panties home. That's a nice thing.
Yeah, bride's underwear. Maybe a sex tape of you and one of the maid of honors or the whatever they're called, bridesmaids. Yeah, the whores. Her favorite whores.
I love when Polly gets quiet because I know he's judging us.
Or doing something, one or the other.
Yeah. How you doing, Dad?
Oh my God. So yesterday I'm feeling at my wife and she tells me to stop, and I actually go, shh, just let it happen. And she goes, don't say that to me. Oops. I guess that's only funny online. Oh man. I come into the stream as fish dying as I'm playing Mortal Kombat 11. How is it, Stacy? I haven't played Mortal Kombat since like 3. And I suck at Mortal Kombat, man. I can punch and that's it.
I have heard that the Jax ending is he goes back in time and then slavery.
He gets rid of slavery or makes it so slavery never happens or some stupid shit like that.
Well, more than that, they take over the planet, the ex-slaves. Like that's the timeline that he recreates because, quote, according to Jax, he wasn't willing to wait for people to get woke.
Woke up, bitches.
Jesus. That was according to the Quarterings video today of the channel that was talking about that has now been taken down.
Oh, he had a video himself that was taken down.
Mm-hmm.
Peter says he actually uses the word woke. Yeah, from what I hear, he does.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more of that in video games.
I've never played a Mortal Kombat game or any fighting game like that for the story. I don't care. I'm in there to beat up people and read online how to pull their spine out.
But doesn't that, I mean, I hear you. And what does that tell you? In a game like Mortal Kombat, where the whole point is the fighting mechanics and the competition, you're trying to insert woke storylines? Are you fucking like, what the hell?
Well, they start it here, and then it'll slowly change other elements of the game then too.
Do you think one of the backgrounds is somebody goes back in time and makes it so slavery started sooner?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kano's like the Nazi of the group. You know, he's got that half metal face and everything. So yeah, he could be it.
Go back in time and make it worse. Make Hitler win. Oh no, we can't.
What if you could play Hitler as a character in Mortal Kombat?
You know, I would play a game. It's a game. I remember reading this story, and yes, I know I've talked about this before, Lords of the Night Watchers. But it was this woman. She wrote this article. She was mad as fuck, because her son played a World War II shooter, and they're a Jewish family, and he had to play as a Nazi. Like, it doesn't make him an actual Nazi, you stupid bitch. Who do you think the bad guys are going to be in a World War II shooter?
No, see, it'll come through the TV like that movie Shocker, and then it will slowly possess him, and he will become a Nazi.
Look, I played many of games where I was a Nazi. It didn't turn me into one. It's not that I am a Nazi. It's just it's a game.
Hey, you play Nazi games, you win Nazi prizes. That's how it works now.
One of my favorite games. What the hell's the name of that game? It's a submarine game. Oh fuck! Can I find it in here? I know I have it. Silent Hunter. Silent Hunter 3. You play as a U-boat commander, and that is it's one of my favorite games ever. You get to go. Sinking Allied tonnage was my jam, y'all. But it didn't actually make me like become a Nazi. It's a fucking game. And if you're doing it from a certain perspective, yes, that's going to happen. You bought your son a game where he's going to be online fighting other people. What two sides did you think they were going to be? Did you think he was going to be Italian? Maybe Japanese? Would that have been better? You crazy bitch. It's a fucking game. Damn soccer moms. Anyhow. Do we really want to hear someone else who say Hitler wins? Do you guys know the game? Shit, I just lost it. It starts with an S. Smite.
Mm-hmm.
Smite is a great game.
Yeah, it's one of Hammer's favorite games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there's a whole bunch of different gods in it. They won't put Jesus in. I'm like, why not? Jesus out there blasting people with fish that he made out of bread would be awesome. But we have these certain things, these certain taboos that we won't do because, oh my God, what's that going to offend religious people? You have no problem offending any of the people that are left. Chaos says, I like Smite. It has tits in it. Oh, some of the girls in Smite are awesome. I haven't played it in a couple of years, but yeah. Jesus doesn't smite Old Testament God. Absolutely. Look, Jesus could smite in this game. He could smite a motherfucker. You guys are overthinking it. Jesus was not God. Look, man. Look. See, you guys are like that mom. Stop it.
It's good. Monkey, you need to stop. Whatever your problems are, man. It's like, Polly, you're like dad. Chat, you're like mom. Like, man, are you feeling a little parentally oppressed today, Monkey?
I have abandonment issues. Jesus was a Jedi. Look, Jesus could kick ass. That's all I'm saying. You got Zeus in there. Put Jesus in. I want to see those two fight. It's a fucking video.
Yeah, Jesus could run around with the what did he the cords that he fashioned into a whip to chase the money changers out of the temple. He could have one of those.
No, he uses his crown of thorns and it becomes a whip, like Indiana Jones style.
When his health gets low, he throws 30 pieces of silver at you.
And when he defeats someone, his finishing move is to kill them, then resurrect them again.
Yes, he could be the healer. He could resurrect his teammates. I mean, there's lots, but yeah, we can't do that because it might offend people. I hate that. You know what? If they get offended, let them be fucking offended. They're not playing anyway. There's a comic about Jesus and Zeus fighting. Tell him, Polly.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah,
I might.
Angela and shit. What's the other character's name, Jack?
What?
The comic we did on Comic Book Curation.
Oh, I don't remember.
Where Jesus comes down off the cross and kicks the Greek gods' asses.
See,
that was like a week ago. You can't expect me to remember that.
I'm just saying that if we took the collective stick out of our ass, there'd be a lot more fun things you could do. And, you know, you can still have your woke games, but who cares? Because I'll go play the ones that are fun.
We do comics over in Comic Book Curation, but we get funky. We do it in a strange, interesting, bancy kind of way. It's a good time.
I think we're going to wrap there, gentlemen, because I still haven't eaten. Chat, seriously, guys, thanks for coming, hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. I can't tell you how much I appreciate those. And they help me eat. And that's nice to do, even though I forget from time to time. Polly, anything you want to show out there today?
Just my channel link that Stargazer has been nice enough to be throwing up in chat there. I'll throw it up one more time. Yeah, we do Comic Book Curation over there. Jack, Inquisitor, and myself every Wednesday at roughly 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a good time. We talk about everything pop culture, movies, comics, all that stuff in and around it. Check it out.
Beautiful. And Jack, anything you want to show?
No, there's my channel link. It's in the description as well.
There you go. Guys, don't forget, you can support these guys when we're off the air. Those links are down below, and hit them up. They're great peoples. Tonight, we will be on Scribe Lights channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. And there's no game stream scheduled. Satsu said he might do something, so keep an eye on his Twitter. You should be following all of us on Twitter because YouTube doesn't tell you when we're coming out. You got to go to the Twitter. I'm sorry. That's the only reason to use Twitter. That and to make jokes about Jews to Ilhan Omar. I love doing that. Guys, Polly, Jack, thank you so much for joining me. I really did enjoy this one. I like these ones where we're just all over the fucking place. I do. They're fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was funny. It was quirky.
Chat, thanks for hanging out. Love you guys. We will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.